Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. I think so. I never know from my end,
Yeah, it gets all. Do you use their internet or do you Wi-Fi?
Thankfully, she brings this deal along.
Okay.
That's usually the... I just realized I'm not even using her own router here. That might be a worthwhile switch. Yeah, so whenever you can bring your own, it just eliminates a ton of variables. You know what I mean?
Then you just have to get an internet.
This is the economy of one of the referees. Again, if you're in place B, you should be warming up right now. And we're going to have you out here really quick, and there's no break. You will be attempting a break in between our disciplines today.
Good morning.
Where do you think people should line up? Like the attempts? You're probably not the one to ask.
I typically hope people don't ask me, but I do think that here is pretty much fine.
Okay.
It is time.
Ashley, you're breaking the chalk. Like speed. Hold on to that. Bottom.
And good morning, folks. Thanks so much for joining us. You're looking live here at Umbra Strength in Shelby Township, Michigan. Tanner White, so glad to be with you for Powerlifting America Umbra Classic 2. With just about no further ado, we are almost ready to get this meet rolling. We've got 8:59 a.m. and we thank you so much again for joining us over here on the Powerlifting America Michigan YouTube channel. The second iteration here of the Umbra Classic. The first one was a smashing success last year, right around this same weekend, and we hope to have more of the same here for the 2026 iteration. We've already got a comment in the chat from Lynn Byer who said, "Let's go Mulawa."
And welcome to the Powerlifting America Umbra Classic 2. We're going to get started.
And our very first attempt of the day is going to be Sophia Brown here for the first flight of the day. We call that creatively Flight A. That flight is beginning right now. Once you get that bar is loaded call, lifters have 60 seconds to begin their attempt. And the very first one comes from Sophia Brown here, that is getting under the barbell. Settles herself and ought to dunk that first. Looked like it from our side. We're going to continue to try and add some visual elements on the screen for you to just make it a little bit more professional as we continue to improve upon our setup all the time here. And we do thank you oh so much again for anybody who's joining us early this morning. We got that first spot up on the board at just 9:01 a.m. Always a great sign to get started on time. It'll be somewhat of a long day, but it's always worth the wait in the end. 27 competitors signed up today. Sophia's first squat is not going to pass, by the way. We got red lights for her. And unfortunately will not pass that very first attempt. Next attempt coming here is Madison Glant. She's a 52 kg junior. And she will open up for a kg squat successfully, yes. You can follow along with all of the live results of every single attempt throughout this competition by going to liftingcast.com and looking for the Powerlifting America Umbra Classic 2 meet. But we'll also try to get that up on the screen for you so you can see those events, or those results rather, kind of live as they're put in. It's a real cool opportunity that we've got to show you that stuff live, and we'll get that on the screen for you in just a few. There it should be appearing for you. Angela Dawood, opening squat here coming early on in the morning. Can you get yourself woken up in all of the joints and the hips and the knees and the ankles? It can be tough to do so when you're one of those first ones leading off the earliest flights. Angela will not pass her first squat. 90 kg coming up empty. So folks, you got two choices. Whenever you miss a lift, whenever you get those 2 or 3 red lights, because you've got to get 2 white lights in order for the lift to pass, you can either retake the exact same attempt as you loaded for your first, or you can go up by as little as 2.5 kg, or as much as you would like to. Lifters select their own attempts in nearly all cases. Emily Richardson here, a 57 kg opening competitor. 95 kg is going to be her opening squat. Oh my, that is awfully grindy. There's only so much you can do after an opener like that. Sometimes you have to really make a business decision. Probably a very small jump from your first to your second, and then arguably choose not to take a third sometimes. That may be for some the best option that you have. Again, folks, on that bottom left corner of your screen, you're going to see live results coming in. We'll see exactly how everybody is putting their own attempts in at the table and those kinds of things. And that will be how we'll give you the results of each and every attempt. Allison Gressman is under a 105 kg opening squat here. A Warren, Michigan native, over here in Shelby Township today. She's 37 years of age. She says she trains most often out of Powerhouse. Packs her neck back tightly, does Allison. It's sort of like pulling the chin back toward the back of the neck, practically. And her opening squat should be good enough by us. It's a really rather high level squat. So many maybe you've never heard of, or find it a little bit strange that this can benefit us, but I tell you, it does have a big impact because it just reinforces this 3-word or 3-letter term that everybody knows within this sport is so crucial. It's IAP, or intra-abdominal pressure. So we'll get the camera frame cleared out for you. Doing our best we can on that. Next squat attempt, here comes the opener for Savannah Lee. Holy smokes, that's 142.5. It was heavy. And then we took a moment to actually glance down at the lifting cast there. You can just tell by the number of plates that are loaded when it starts to get into all of the very small little change plates in addition to a couple of those red round things. That's a whole lot. So we'll tell you all about loading the barbell now as we've got a little bit of time for it. This seems like as good a time as any. It's a 20 kilo Texas Strength Systems power bar. And that is standard. You'll use that for all 3 disciplines, the squat, the bench press, and the deadlift today. Every pair of red plates is going to be 50 kilos. That means each one of them individually is 25. Next denomination will be a blue, where a single blue is 20 and a pair is 40. I'll tell you more about this in a second. After the opener here is just positively very, very well done by Kyle Kyle Hudson opened on 212.5 kg. That is a tremendous number. That's 470 pounds for his opener early on Sunday morning. Easy, we might add, like Sunday morning. Pardon us, that was in fact Tad Music. The Kyle Hudson attempt will be coming now at 212.5. But again, folks, you'll be seeing these results on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. So just take our word for it. We've missed something to be rolling in at all times from our good friends at Lifting Cast. Kyle Hudson, a powerlifting American competitor last year at Motor City Muscle over at DMG in Detroit. Opened up 212.5 here. It wasn't his smoothest, but it should be a good lift for his opener as well. Remember, folks, you got to get 2 out of 3 of those lights that flash up on that screen on the cast to the white. Pardon us, he's actually got 3 reds. And interestingly enough, there's 2 yellow cards that come out of that as well. Those yellow cards are little technical actions, these little nuances that will creep up once you get red light and there's rewards to it, and just, okay, you failed the lift successfully, and the spotters have taken it. That was the bottom of the flight for flight A, so we're going to turn it back up.
All right, Sophia, come on.
That's how we progress on.
You got this,
everybody
girl.
from flight A takes all 3 of their squats. And
Take
then
your time.
down into flight B. We progress throughout the flight as well, and we're lightest to heaviest.
Lower.
Sophia Brown,
Push.
second squat there, 60.
Woo!
Looks like she made that fantastic adjustment.
Yeah,
She puts
girl.
the 65 up. We told you Madison Lance, her squat was a tremendous grinder. It was. She's now taking just a minimum jump. That minimum jump, in most cases, is 2.5 kilograms. And that's exactly what Madison has put in. She goes 80 for her opener, 82.5 for her second attempt, coming in a few. At 82.5 is about 182 pounds, give or take. Angela Dowd will follow, and she is retaking on 90 kilos.
No, they don't. I look over there. It's easier. This is the
That is a dumb second in a really good in the second wind that she got. That can be difficult to do if you've really expended a ton of energy on the opening squat too. But a very, very convincing 82.5 kilo.
All right, Angela, come
Madison
on.
Flint.
You do this shit every day.
I know I'm going to sign another one. This might be my first one.
Take your time.
It's fine.
Angela Dawood, a Warren, Michigan native. She's 48 years of age, so she still makes that Masters 1 cutoff, but boy, not by too much. She's going to start seeing those Masters 2 years upcoming soon. Total 280 kilos at Motor City Muscle 2 just a couple of months ago, and she looks clearly stronger today already. She set her goals to get 9 out of 9 lifts and improve her total. Well, she did miss the opening squat, comes back and gets to second, and that is the good news. Like we said, folks, you have 2 options after a missed lift. You can either retake at the same weight or go up by as little as 2.5 kilos. Emily Richardson did make her first squat, but she will also take a minimum jump here of 2.5. This is 97. That wants to put her in the dirt. She will not let it, but might not have a whole lot to follow up. If she even wants to take that minimum jump for the third, that could still be too much.
All right, come on.
Bar now loaded for Allison Gressman. She's going to take a 5 kilo jump. That's a little bit more standard, although some will opt for 7.5 up to 10-ish on average for their squats. It's kind of be measured by a percentage of one's 1 rep max. Allison will take quite a while to settle this and then get that squat command. Now finally she can start. Drop it down and just stand up. It can be just that simple. Allison, 6-7 for second squat. We may try to change the view of lifting cast that we've been giving you. See if we can swap in a new URL here. And if we are capable of doing that, we might take a look at the board as they call it. We'll see if that'll work nicely. All right, I like the look of it. Savannah Lee is now taking 155 for her second and just smoked it. Really, really impressive. The number one reason why we flipped this source over was we wanted all of you to be able to see those white lights as they pop up, as the lifters would. They immediately, what you'll see with most competitors is when there's any uncertainty at all, even if they are completely certain, they will still whip their head over to that scoreboard and look up at it right away because he's never the tiniest little things that can be cause for disqualification. Tad Cusick here is coming up next. Kyle Gibson, I think, saw that on his opening squat, and so he needs to put a second up on the board when he comes up next. Tad racks this, and he's got those 2 white lights, so we do see the lights coming in, and that means it was a successful change for your patience with us on that board. We knew we could do it. Belief in oneself. This is a fantastic sport in which to learn that now, isn't it? Without that utter belief and confidence, it is really tough to succeed in the sport. So, Kyle Gibson back out. He missed on his first. We're now hearing he wants 231. Okay, we thought that can't be quite right because typically when you see anything that's not a multiple of 2.5, that is a record available to take at the national level. Kyle goes actually 230. And it looks like he's got that in more. Holy smokes. Yeah, he does. Kyle's best all-time squat was set at Arlington America High School Nationals. He competed at 80.2 kg in the 83 kg class, so he was very lightweight. Oh, plus that also did not pass. We looked up a little bit too late. This is also Kyle's first meet as a 93 kg, and should be noted. So he goes up in body weight, but his squats have not come up with the white lights yet. That's going to be a really tough spot to be. He has to make his third attempt, which almost certainly means he's going to have to retake that 230 kilos. Really unenviable spot for Kyle to be in. He is the only one in that spot out of all of Flight A here. We are back up at the top of Flight A. Sophia Brown, third spot, coming 75 kilos. It takes quite a while to feel where that bottom is, but I think she got all the way there. Yes. Sophia Brown will pass that third on 75. Just missed the opener on depth, but the next 2 really did get better. So many will say that, yeah, okay, the first squat is just objectively the most difficult. They will say that the nerves are really still cranked up. They will say that you're not really warmed up and you don't feel all the way into meet day yet on those first squats, and once you finally get through the nerves of just hitting that one and getting a number up on the board, you feel much better. Madison Glant now taking a 5 kilo jump. It's 87.5. Got a little squat face going, and she's got a big squat forward 87.5. Very nice.
And maybe you can coach it in your first coaching class.
You want to see all past lifts? We know that that's simply not how it works. But anytime that we can, we're going to try to speak it into existence that, oh, well, for certain this is going to pass.
All right, Angela, stay tight.
Angela Dawood, third squat coming here.
Deep breath. What? Stay in it. Deep breath.
Wow, she takes forever too to find the bottom of her squat just so that there's no doubt about it. There's no discussion had it, and still, oh, the red lights come on, depth. That hurts. kg, no good for Angela on her third squat attempt. Emily Richardson now will take another minimum jump here of 100 kg. She's had to put it really all on the line, and this will be the first third squat miss on strength, they call it. You don't say that in any way to, make fun of somebody, say, oh, clearly your strength wasn't there on the day. That is just after those first attempts come through and each of them sap you, and you really have to put out a ton of energy because maybe you opened a little bit heavy for yourself. You're just only left with so much of that neuromuscular drive that really creates the necessary degree of force and that rate of force production in order to get that bar maximally moving in terms of speed. And if you squat it faster, chances are you'll squat heavier. Allison Gressman, 117.5 kg. This 117.5 is right about 259 pounds. That's one that's almost a perfect conversion between the pounds and the kilos. If you don't know all those conversions, don't worry, we'll continue to bring them to you. Again, another really aggressive neck back. I'd like to be able to see as she finishes it on the hill, she's able to squeeze the hips through, and that's hip extension. It's sort of a transitionary midpoint that you hit in your squat at some point. Kind of get a little bit less hip extension, or a little bit less knee extension, that is, as the knees are mostly fully locked, and then in order to stand all the way up straight, those glutes and adductors and those kind of things will allow you to finish that lift off up at the top with some more hip extension as well, because you've got to be standing upright in order to get that rack command. Those are the only two commands we'll hear our referees say. That's squat and rack here in the squat. Stanley took a little bit too much there with 165. Comes up heavy on her third. Be sure to tip your spotters and loaders, folks. They have got we mean this in the nicest way possible. They have the worst jobs on meet day, but they're very, very often good sports about it and are under fire all day long and typically don't panic, as they're kind of saving lives to a degree. Tad Husick taking 217.5. Now, that is a tremendous number. Tad is a 105 kg competitor. He weighed in at just 95.1, but also a sub-junior. Tad's just 18 years of age. He had to enter a deep, dark place to find that in last year. Well done. Tad's got a competition squat PR on the board. He's previously a USA powerlifting competitor. This is his first time out here with Powerlifting America, but at high school nationals with USAPL last year had a 572.5 kilo total. Already got PR on the board. It was kind of a rocky way that he got there, though, as he missed his first and his third squat and only got his second on the board at high school nationals with USAPL. Kyle Hudson is going to take 230 kg again. He's going to have to really strap up for this. You got to take depth completely out of the question. You've got to nail the very bottom of this. His best comp squat, we told you, 240 kilos he hit at nationals. He goes up a class here, and now he needs this to stay in the meet and to post a total. It's a survival squat. Kyle Hudson. Oh my goodness, no. Oh, there goes the total. When you do not post a successful attempt across a full discipline, when you get 3 attempts to do so, that means you will not post an official number. You can still stay here. They're not going to kick you out. You don't have bouncers come and tossing people out of the club. But don't get a number. And so you could go and set whatever records you want. Doesn't matter. It's going to be unofficial. Man, we are surprised by that. And it's the only one to happen out of that whole Flight A. That does round out Flight A, and now we'll turn it over to the top of Flight B. Our second flight of the day starts with Tim Kennedy here. Tim is taking 122.5 kilos. Tim's first competition, you love to see that at the age of 35. He's kind of just finding that barbell. He does positively smoke this. He says he's been in the gym a long time, but it's just his first powerlifting meet. He's got some big goals. He says the gym total, that's some of the best lift that I've registered across the squat, bench press, and deadlift is a little bit over 1,000 pounds. It's a really, really great strength milestone that when anybody's hit that, they feel belong here, especially among male competitors, heavier, older competitors. Yeah, 1,000 pounds just has a really nice ring to it. Nick Nolan is going to get under a 140 opening squat here. Nicholas Nolan, Elman Vejtovic, and then Elias Russell, your next 3 lifters here. Whoa. If you told me that that was his second or third collab, I would believe it. But now he's going to get reds for depth on the left and the right side. So when you have those 3 whites, those 3 lights that is, that pop up across that scoreboard, our referees are making their determination on, okay, exactly does this pass or not? Was there any small infractions to wipe it off the board? But if you get 1 white light, the discussion's over. You get 2 reds, of course, that would mean the discussion's over. If you get 2 white lights, then the lift passes, and okay, you think you're lucky star and move on. Given. Elman Vejtovic, 140. Looks plenty good from here. We've thought that before, and then a number have been hammered on depth already. Elman's best competition squat was 160 kilos at the Powerlifting America Michigan Classic back in 2024. That is, in fact, the best number he's got on record. That's almost 2 years ago, but also competed last year at the first iteration of the Umbra Classic. Elias Russell coming up here, 152.5 kilos. I think he took a moment and said, oh, was that bar loaded for me? I'm not quite sure that it's my turn, but yes, indeed it is. When they call bar is loaded, typically you will hear that head referee say the name of the lifter as well, right? Bar is loaded for Elias. Oh man, and he scalds that to begin his day on the squats. Well done. He gets 1 red light on the right, but does not matter. Once you've got the 2 whites, you're all set. And then you get 60 seconds from the time that attempt finishes to go to the scorer's table and put in your next attempt. You talk to your coach, you talk to the person they may refer to as the handler on the day, who's kind of like a game day coach for you. And you make a determination based on, okay, the speed of that squat and how did it feel on my back, and How did it look? And of course, did it pass? And then you decide, all right, what's roughly the right range for me to take for my next attempt, and then pick a number within that range. Gavin Martin opener here, 155 kilos, silky. Connor Feed will be up next. He's got a 165 nominated. Then Jacob O'Hara and Austin Malawa, who we did have a supporter of in the chat. Austin's going to be at the bottom of the flight. Those bottom of the flight guys, it's so fun to be down there. He was truly kind of a squat specialist. And I'm always very thankful to be towards that bottom of the flight. Where, okay, I can get kind of out ahead on total early in the day with a fairly big squat. Speaking of big squats, they're flying around early on Sunday morning, 165. All good from here. Interact with us in the chat at any point, folks. We'll likely get back to you as we're still seeing those numbers creeping on up, and it would be remiss to not interact with you and continue to up our production value before we get to that very, very exciting Powerlifting America Invitational at that end of September. Everybody is really gearing up for that, and very exciting. It's going to be held at Raw Strength in Kalamazoo. Opener here, Jacob O'Hara. Jacob O'Hara, 5. And you can put her on the board. We want to see all white lights for everybody all the time. That is not the reality of this sport. But every time that we do get it, typically take a moment to call it out. It feels so much more satisfying to see that. It's aesthetically pleasing, yes, but it's also a little bit mentally buffering to say, I did everything right. Bottom of the flight here, Austin Mulawa, 207.5. Heaviest all-time squat, 240 kilos. Got a ways to go to get there, but you gotta start somewhere. And he starts at the bottom of the flight. He's gonna stay there too. 457.5 pounds. Austin Malawa opening squat on the board. We had just one miss of all of those openers in this flight B. We've got 3 flights on the day, folks, and shame on us, we haven't quite mentioned that yet. But again, we creatively call those flights A, B, and C. In that order, too, could you believe it? It's not the most creative of sports, we tell you. We say that very, very tongue-in-cheek, that it's a little bit formulaic, but I'll tell you what, when it's operated just surgically and with a ton of precision, we really do appreciate all of our referees, spotters, loaders, our all-important lead director, Alicia Lewis, and always grateful to have her bring us out. We're back up to the top of the flight here. Tim Kennedy taking 135 for his second squat. That's a 12.5 kilo jump. Slowed up a little bit towards that midpoint. But he should have it, and he does. He's got 3 counts. Remember, folks, just 2 commands for the squat lift. The first, you can unrack that bar and start walking it back and set your feet whenever you want. But once those feet are set in that exact position that you're going to take your squat from, you're going to hear the head referee give that squat command first. That means, all right, you can descend whenever you want. There's no command to come up. You just simply come up as you're able to, as fast as you're able to. And then the rack command is going to be when you're standing fully upright, knees locked. That means you can start walking that bar back into the rack. And thank your lucky stars, hopefully, for a successful lift. Elman Bejtovic, 150 keys. Yes, please. Now, he told you that his best competition squat was 160. If he wants to get a competition PR here, that means a 12.5 kilo jump. It's objectively aggressive, but but it's kind of subjectively based on how that second moved within play. It's certainly something that he'll talk about. There's no guarantee that he is going to take that, but again, you'll see that attempt come in on lifting pass when he goes to nominate it. That may be one of the longer discussions of the day that will happen over at the scoring table. Is okay, am I attached to that PR squat number, or would something a little bit lighter give me a chance for a better total overall? Because I still got a bench, I still got a deadlift today. Gavin Martin, 160, absolutely exploded his opener, tossed that around. Now, that bar is rolling down his back for the second. I think he saves it nicely. It just really made for a much tougher lift. And I think that also caused him to miss depth because he's red lighted on his left and his right sides again. Gavin Martin comes up empty on his second squat attempt again. There's a few ways that competitors combat that bar moving around on the back. There's taking the grip in a little bit more. That could be a really short-term adjustment that you make, for example, just from your second to your third attempt. There's also chucking your back up aggressively to try to hold it on there as much as possible. Elias Russell, 162.5. He's got a really upright posture as opposed to others throughout the we've seen so far. He is also nailed on depth there, so 3 red lights. The normals in almost every federation will read something very similar to this, that you must see the hip dip appreciably below the top of the knee joint. What exactly that means and how exactly it's officiated, boy, it depends on your specific referees and the federation. Anatomy, what depth looks like, so many other things. But just sink it the best you can. Nicholas Nolan's doing exactly that. And oh my lord, that's a 25 kilo jump, which is the heaviest that anybody's taken so far today, and he still looks like he's just barely getting warmed up. He missed on 140 on his opener, but again, it was depth on the left and right. Often you will see the center referee be the most, we'll say, hesitant to make a depth call because it is objectively, from their position, more difficult to tell where that hip crease and that knee joint end up at the bottom of the squat when you're viewing it from the front. When viewed from the sides, it can be a lot more difficult to debate. 177.5 for Connor Lee's second. And for the same for his first, he is Dustin. He'll probably be willing to take another 12.5 jump. I think that that's going to be in the cards. No guarantee that it will come up, but if there's a second attempt that has really convinced us that they're going to take it, certainly make a compare to 7.5 kg. He's really well color coordinated here, rocking the red, white, and blue headband, and he's got that Titan support system singlet, their colors being red, white, and blue, and all that. And it's an SPD sleeve. It's more out of the depth there. It does cause that bar to slow down, yes, but still more than deep enough, we suspect. And it is. Austin Malawa, he's that bottom of the fight guy. He knows when you got that big squat number because he's pushing 5 here, not quite there yet, but he's running up against it. He knows that most of the time he's going to be occupying an area very close to that bottom of the fight. Austin Malawa. He's going to cold and calmly approach. There are some who really just shake the heck out of the rack and they will aggressively kind of rack and re-rack to a degree. Some may, sort of false unrack to feel what that weight is going to be like when they get it out of the pits. Now he takes it and settles. rocks back. And grinds a tad off. That's everybody's second attempts. There was a lot of good stuff to be had in those second attempts. Gavin Martin and Elias Russell had the only two misses. Leaves a lot more room for most of these light meat competitors to eke out some more for these thirds. Timothy Kennedy, welcome to the platform. We hope to have you here for a whole long time. A Fort Myers, Florida resident, now resides in Owasso. And that gave him everything he wanted. He had a little bit of a bottle. I wonder, does that negate? No, it does not. Never mind. There's a few things that can happen that can disqualify a lift that really looks good in the kind of traditional sense of, oh, he's smoking. One of those would be movements of the feet. Again, at any point after you get that squat command, if those feet shuffle, if your toes turn in or out, if you lose balance and you have to take a step forward, any of those can disqualify your lift. That was the one thing that we were afraid of. But Tim Kennedy survives it and puts a 142.5 on the board. Elmond is making a little bit more of a conservative decision here. This is a 70 or a 155, pardon us. And Elmond, with the work to be had, knocks out his and that's honestly a really good position to be in as well, is that, oh well, the good news is he can go and take the 155 and continue to build out his total higher and higher. Probably left himself plenty of room to play with. There's another discussion of the order here. I think a couple of lifters themselves were maybe lined up out of order. People don't really tell you that, but what happens off screen is that these lifters will line up in the exact order that their attempts are going to come in. Gavin Martin takes just a minimum jump here, 162.5. And I wonder if that's also going to be a depth call. Yeah, it's from the left and the right again. Your center referee, it is Amanda Barr. We can't thank her enough for her service here for sacrificing her Sunday. But Amanda has, for the most part, allowed these squats to pass. It's been the sides where people have been hammered if they've missed on depth. Elias Russell, 165 keys. We still got another flight to go, folks. Don't forget it. But these are the third squats of Flight B for Powerlifting America Umbra Classic 2. Credit call spotlight. Big E survives. It's the worst feeling in the world. You're pushing with an absolutely maximal force. A weight you might have never touched, or a weight that you know is near your limit on the day, and it just stops moving entirely. But to overcome that inertia and continue to get it creeping on up, it is an elation. It's really tough to describe. Nicholas Nolan, another 20 kilos. He's jumping up here. This is 185. It's 408 and some change. And dirt off his shoulder. Forget about it. Zero issues. 185. He's got plenty more to go up to. He's an 83 kg competitor. He's one of very few competitors today who is close to his weight cap for the class. That 83 kg class goes up to about 183 in pounds when you do the conversion. Connor Lee, well underweight for the 83s, weighed in 79.2, but got a big old squat on him. This is 192.5 for his third, coming soon. Everything he had and maybe a little bit more into it. Sometimes you gotta hang on the erectors a little bit if you're a hingy squatter. And I think that's what he did. Third squats are really, really good out of this flight. In Flight A, they weren't quite so successful, just as a percentage. Jacob O'Hara, 215 keys, gets his squat command. Oh boy. Went down and then was not going to come up. His best squat was 205 coming in, so you can't say that that was a YOLO squat or a Hail Mary type of thing, but it's worth trying to take it. He already had the competition PR of 2.5 for his second, so that's the very good news for Jacob O'Hara, is he will leave at minimum with one PR on the board, and it is on his second squat. Austin Malawa, 230 kilos for the bottom of the flight here. His best number with Powerlifting America was at Motor City Muscle 2. Made this really short turnaround. You're talking about 2 months' time to get here to Umbra Classic 2. That is a really, really demanding ask of your body. Squatted 227 and a half there. It's 230 today. Oh my goodness. We had so much belief, but belief can take you and make you up and crush you into a little ball at times. Austin Malawa still posts the heaviest squat number out of Flight B with 220 kilos, but his third squat not quite there on 230. Yet 3 missed squats out of that Flight B being 3 missed third squats, that is Gavin Martin, Jacob O'Hara, Austin Malawa. Literally, by far the more successful squat flight was just how the numbers show. So now we are moving on to the Flight C squats. These are the openers of the final round of squats for the day. Joseph Valente begins with a 175. Joseph's also got that very upright posture. Weighted at 118.9 for the 120 kilo class. Those of you not so familiar with the weight classes or weight class sports data, you can weigh up to a very half of that 120 class. If it is 120 kilos, you can get on that scale, and if you see 120, good. If you see 120.1, not so much. That last class before heavyweights are the 120 kilo class. Heavyweight is an unlimited class, so it's 120 plus and up to whatever you want. Zachariah Sharneski opening here on a 187.5. Got to look at this Zachariah's powerlifting debut at Ross. That was no frills too with powerlifting back in February. February the 1st to August the 2nd. I tell you, even that is not a particularly long turnaround for 2 competitions. The average competitor you'll see after their first year or 2, usually that pace of 1 to 2 meets per year tends to be about the best choice for most to not burn out and continue to be able to progress. Ryan McCutcheon, 195 for his opener. He He is one of our 120 pluses. Holy smokes! I think I blinked and I think I missed the whole lift. He's going to go way up. We're just going to go ahead and speculate that very strongly. He is going to go way up for his second and likely third attempt. Wow. Weighed in about 135 kilos this point. So again, he's one of those 120 pluses. Wyatt Ebmeyer weighed in 99.4 for the 105 kg class. He had plenty of room to maneuver within the cap there. He is a junior and open division double entrant. First competition for Wyatt. When you get that first squat on the board, I'm telling you folks, it's the biggest relief that you may ever experience for your career. Oh, and I had to say something. The left and the right are devoid of white lights. That is a tough spot to be in. Is the first one to miss the opener here out of flight C. But many other lifters have, and they've responded well, and they've lived through missing the openers. Here's Mike Romanchik opening on 207.5. Looks plenty good by us. And well done, Mike. Really, really interesting story about this guy. So his competition history reads all with the APF, the American Powerlifting Federation. So the interesting thing about that, primarily we would say, is that he is typically competed as a wrapped competitor, that is in knee wraps as opposed to the knee sleeves that you'll see everybody wearing today, as we are raw competitors, all of us here in Powerlifting America today. It is a tremendous difference that a lot of lifters get out of that knee wrap versus a knee sleeve. For some, it can be a couple hundred pounds, to tell you the truth. But it's learning that transition, it's just a completely different skill at the very same time. Stephen Haslam opens here on 220 kg. Stephen's opener, not going to pass on the depth. Remember folks, once you miss a lift, two options. Either retake that very same weight or go up by as little as 2.5 kilos or as much as you would like. Just one more note on Mike Romanchik. His best squat of all time, 235 kilos. He's attempted as heavy as 240, but that 235 was hit at the APF Michigan National Championships and weighed in at 94.9 kilos there in the 100 kg class. Today, Mike is a 105 kg competitor weighing right about that same body weight at 95.4.
There we go. Good work, good job.
Ronald Prusa, 245. Big numbers at the bottom of the flight for the final flight. When you get down towards the bottom here, you usually see a bunch of big boys. 120 kg junior. He says he's got this home gym advantage as he trains here. Man, he's already shaken a little bit under the opener, but some just need to do that for whatever reason. Ronald Prusa stacks those chips. 245 is his opener. He is opening as well with a deadlift of 265 kilos. We'll just spoil it for you now. That is the heaviest deadlift opener that anybody has nominated out of this entire competition. Got another comment coming from Austin Malawa from the chat. Thanks once again for everybody joining us over here on the Powerlifting America Michigan YouTube channel. Tanner White, so glad to be with you for Powerlifting America Umbra Classic 2. Live here from Umbra Strength in Shelby Township. We've got 9:51 a.m. local time here. That is Eastern Daylight Time, if we're not mistaken. Jacek Kleba is the very bottom of the flight here. Holy Santa Maria, that is a 255 kg opener. Just obliterated. There's a reason why you get quite so many side spotters. When the squats get over about 500 pounds, that's when you see two spotters on each side plus one at the rear. Jacek Kleba blows up. that 255, and he's another one that showed us he's got a ton of room to continue to go. Scary thought there. Jacek from Imlay City, 22 years of age, also trains here at Umbra most often. Joseph Valente coming back up here for his second squat. It's 195 kilos. Joseph, second squat, just about the same as the first. There's a tad bit of slowdown, but I don't think anything enough to really make him hesitate on his next loading decision. Zachariah Sharneski coming back up 195 kilos in just a moment. At Powerlifting America No Frills, squatted 87.5 or 187.5. So he went and made his opener, and then that already put him in PR territory. So he takes a PR on his second of 7.5 keys. Boy, he's in a good spot. Zachariah is a very strong deadlift as well. Had a 235 kilo pull at No Frills, and his opener today on his deadlift 225. He's really cooking for a great chance at a PR day. Wyatt Epmeyer missed his opener, 2.5 in that little hole that you never want to find yourself back into. But he's got to now dig and find it. Coached by Zach Luck and trains out of the Other Body shop in Kentwood primarily. In your debut, real tough spot. But it looks like the second is better than the first. Oh yeah. 207.5 keys. Wyatt Epmeyer now on the board. 217.5 is going to be Brian McCutcheon's second squat. This is the second heaviest attempt we've seen anybody take all day. It's 22 and a half. Holy cow. But he just absolutely bottomed out the first, and the second one is even deeper and practically as fast. Of course, you add 22 and a half, it's not going to be exactly the same speed, but that gives us really a lot of reason to think he could do another, maybe 17 and a half. That's our best guess, is he's probably going to go about 235-ish. Again, folks, we have those live results scrolling in from that scoreboard on liftingcast.com. If you want to look at the full thing in a little bit bigger size, go to liftingcast.com and search for Powerlifting America Umbra Classic 2. Got a comment that says, I'm here for Angie, let's win this girl. Squatted 90 kg. Stephen Haslam on his second attempt is also hit with the depth monsters. 2 attempts, 220 kg each, and 2 unsuccessful squats. Tough spot to be. What do we say about that? When you need that survival squats, it just expends way more energy than most had planned. And there's something too about a missed lift that tends to feel like it drains you more than a made lift for whatever reason as well. Micromanage 220. Boy, that is deep too. And that is money. Sorry, folks, we're too close. to where the lifters line up. And again, we mentioned that some aggressively chalk their backs before taking the step. There's a tremendous amount of chalk in not only my eyes, but also ears, nose, and throat. Oh, nonetheless, we will carry on and be with you all day long. Thanks once again to everybody joining us over here on the Powerlifting America Michigan YouTube channel. Tanner White, so glad to be with you. Myself, I am a 74 kg Powerlifting America competitor, as well as a professional play-by-play announcer. And combining those two has been such a thrill. It's been a real a pleasure that has taken me some incredibly fun and exciting places and seen some fun and exciting lifts. Ronald Prusa here, 260 for his second squat. Oh, that fought back. That's a very dramatic slowdown from the first and second, so you might see him alter his plan a little bit. His opener was awesome. I think he's going to say, yeah, I'm not super happy about that, but when it's on the board, it's really tough to complain all too much. Just might require some small tweak to the plan. Everybody's got a plan, pretty much write down, or in the notes of your phone or somewhere, even if it's just mental, you say, okay, these are the numbers that I think I'm going to be able to hit and that I plan to take for my attempts. But the best are willing to fudge those numbers a little bit based on exactly how the attempt went, or attempts went. Jacek Kleba, holy smokes, 600-pound squats we're hearing from our PA announcer. That's 272.5 kilos. We knew it was going to be a ton. We didn't know necessarily that he was going to jump 17 and a half. It's really more like 601 too. That is astounding. A 93 junior with room to grow and with room to go for the squat. What on earth? Jacek Kleba just dusted that, and now it's dirt off the shoulder. Says his best competition total to date is 690 kilos. Interestingly, he said his best win total is actually 100 kilos beyond that at 790. That's a really big gap, to tell you the truth. But here's the thing, is anybody going to doubt this kid after just what we've seen from his first couple of squats? There's no reason to do so. He said his goal for the meet is a solid total to give him a, quote, foundation for future competitions. 600 pounds is just a foundation, then I wonder what the final built structure is going to be. That's a really scary thought. We're turning it back up to the top of the plate. This time the order switches around a little bit as Zachariah Charneski is now at the top. That means Joseph Valente is taking a really big jump. I'll tell you about that when we get there. Zachariah, another competition PR here. He added 12 and a half today, folks. It was 187 and a half at No Frills for Powerlifting America, and now it's 200, his best squat in competition. 12 and a half kilos, folks, in the neighborhood of 27 pounds. Really a significant difference. Wyatt Ebmeyer, third squat coming, 212.5.
Let's go! Let's go! Get in there, come on! Wait, baby! Let's go! Let's go, Wyatt! Come on!
Wyatt's feet are set. Squat command, all well and good.
Get up!
The only question, because the speed is beyond reproach, he's got it. Only got hit with a red light on his left side. Again, almost all red lights, if they are not accompanied by a card, are going to be given for depth on the squat. The only other reason you see it, of course, is if the squat doesn't come up at all, and you have to have your spotters catch it and save you. Joseph Valente, like we mentioned, big jump here. He jumped 20 from his first to his second attempt. This is a further 17.5 to 12 and a half. Really aggressive jumps, yes, but they're moving and they're grooving. Oh my, he's switch forward, and then finds that final gear. Yeah. 212.5 dusted. You wonder if that will have the slightest effect maybe on his deadlift, as he kind of had to go a little bit deeper in the tank than he would have wanted. Sometimes that's the realities of the squats, is okay, it's the first one and I've only got two choices with it. I can let it all hang out, or I can conserve a little bit like I might need to for later in the day. Stephen Haslam, he's got that survival squat coming, 220 keys. You never want to be backed into this corner, but when you are, you've got to dunk it deeper than perhaps you've ever squatted before. Stephen has a tremendous heart. I think he is alive and well. Wow, that 220 gave him everything that he wanted out of it, but what a survival lift there for his third squat in competition number 1. That was worth the price of admission. We're now getting over 500 pounds. You're going to hear from our PA announcer. Of course you are, because that's one of those real big mental milestones. Everybody knows the number. They know you need to go over 227.5 kilos to get over 500 pounds. That's exactly where Brian McCutcheon is now. Mr. 501. Oh, that bar drifts forward, and you knew it was going to make it real tricky. It's possible to correct for an issue like that when you have a shift of balance, but it is really much more difficult. It gets exponentially more difficult the further degree of balance that you're kind of thrown off as well. Ronald Prusa put in 275 for his third squat. Holy smokes. It looks like Jason Kleba may actually choose to scratch his third because he doesn't have an attempt to enter. A scratch meaning you're going to just not come out there and take that attempt. You're going to let the timer run down. That 60-second timer begins to run the moment that your head referee says bar is loaded. Squat command given here, Mike Romanchik. 501, same weight there, and same results. As polished off, nice and clean. Mike, no issues with the switch from the knee wraps, that is, to the knee sleeves. These knee sleeves, a maximum thickness of 7 millimeters typically, will almost entirely be made of neoprene. Ronald is taking a heavy whip of some chemical assistance off of the screen. You won't quite see it, but we're very close and up close and personal with him. 275 kilos, that's 5 of those red round things. It's 606 pounds. After that squat command, Ronald Prusa, what do you got left in the tank, man? His heaviest squat of his life! And he'll have to ditch it. His previous heaviest attempt was 260 kilos, by the way, so he's still got a lifetime keeper up on the board. In his first Powerlifting American competition, and he is the second heaviest squatter of the day. He's going to remain there no matter what happens with this Jason Kleba attempt, but holy smokes alive, Jason does have 290 on the bar. That's one of those conversions that we usually don't have to go up that far and think about it. So we kind of struggled for a moment to figure out what that was in pounds. It's 639.3 pounds. This is positively comical, absurd, ridiculous, and any other adjective that you would like to apply, it fits them all. 290 kilo junior, it's just nonsensical. Jason Kleba from the 93s and the juniors are not supposed to smoke too leaky like that. Nobody told this kid. Oh my goodness, what a punctuation mark to the squats. It's an exclamation mark. Jason Kleba, 22 years of age, puts up 639 pounds for the final squat of the day, folks. That wraps up the squat event. We're going to have about 10 minutes of what we call change over time. We'll get the bench press put into that Texas Strength Systems combo rack. And in 10 minutes time, when we come back, we're going to have the beginning of our bench press event. Thanks so much for joining us once again. We'll recap all of that squat action when we come back. Shout out once more Jason Kleba with the 290 heaviest squat of the day. Bench press is coming up. Flight A will begin with Sophia Brown in about 10 minutes time from now. Tanner White here with Powerlifting America Michigan for the Umbra Classic 2. Thanks once more for the little portion of your Sunday and spending it with us.
We have 4 minutes before we get into the weight bench. So we need to give about 2 minutes for that. And this will not get so neat. Madison, Umbra, followed by Township and Umbra.
Have I gotten in your way?
Much less than you might think. I think I'm actually kind of impressed by that.
Okay,
Like,
I'm
much less than you think.
trying to avoid it.
Yeah, I think I appreciate it a lot.
All right, we got this. Just listen, okay? Just listen for the command.
Okay, cool.
Like I said, when you're done, just lift the bar and
Tell me,
pull it
get it
down.
wet.
Just sit there until they grab, okay?
Okay. So yeah, I
It's
probably
pretty
have
tight
enough.
to just the platform. I did that on purpose.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
And welcome back, folks. We are just about ready for the bench press. Thanks once more for joining us here on the Powerlifting America YouTube channel. Tanner White here with you. A Powerlifting America 74 kg competitor, but today your master of ceremonies. The opening bench press here belongs to Sophia Brown. The very first bench attempt here is 32.5 kilos. And we get to tell you all about the technical rules of bench press now, the most exciting thing in the sport, as everybody knows. No, but seriously, it is the most technical, let's call that. On the squat. Those 3 commands, they're always going to be given in this order. It is start, press, and rack. So the start command signals that while you're holding that bar fully extended as you've taken it out of the pins, out of those safeties, the start command means you can begin to lower it down to your chest. Once you've done that, you've got to have that bar remain motionless appreciably on that chest, and once the referees have determined that it is motionless, they'll give you that press command. You can start to press it all the way back up to full extension, full lockout. And then rack command means you can put it back in the hooks and your attempt is all fine and dandy. Just as Madison Went is there on her over 45 kg. Angela Dawood, 52.5. She'll be opening up. Allison Gressman will follow, then Emily Richardson in the hole with Savannah Lee, 65 kg coming next, and then it gets to some big boys, as you do have a couple of our male sub-junior competitors sneaking in at the bottom of flight A. Once more, we got 3 flights here, folks. We progress through them all, flight A, then B, then C. As you get 3 attempts across each of the 3 different disciplines, we're on to the bench press now, our second 3 for the day. Angela Dawood on her opening bench. Oh, there we got a couple of comments in the chat. Angie. We've got a few saying, love that jacket from our PA announcer. Yeah, folks, a flashy look it's kind of underrated to really bring some style and some swagger to the whole sport. There's more room for that within the sport. We're happy to do it as big as we can for you here with Powerlifting America in this great state of Michigan. Bar is loaded now. Allison Gressman squatted 117.5. Now her opening bench is 57.5. Allison screwing her feet in aggressively to the ground. You've got to have those feet maintain contact with the ground, and they got to be flat as the shape of the shoe will allow. That's how the rule book reads on that. And Allison hits all 3 of those commands. Again, start, press, and rack. If you miss any one of the 3, that will be DQ. Emily Richardson up next, 60 Gs, Savannah Lee, 65, and then we get our first bench-only competitor. It's going to be fun to get to tell you about that. It's an option that people have. Not everybody takes advantage of it. When you compete in all 3 of the disciplines, you call that a full power meet. Emily Richardson here, 60 kilos. Emily is a Macomb, Michigan native. Thought about declaring the 52 kg class, but does in fact weigh in at 57. Coached by Carlos Moran of Team Juggernaut. That's a slower opener, probably the slowest that we've seen so far. But it will pass. She's actually going to match her competition PR on her opener. Again, great spot to be in. Bar now loaded for Savannah Lee on 65 here. She hit the heaviest women's squat with 155 kilos second. Missed on 165 for her third and knocks out that 65 with ease here. So she also has the heaviest women's bench. She was a 76 kilo entrant, but weighed 71.2. well underweight. Again, that's really been a theme for many of these lifters. Now, that doesn't mean in any way that they've decided to intentionally, manipulate their body weight, whether that be through water cuts, whether that be through, some temporary short-term fasts. It's more so you just show up sometimes, and whatever you weigh normally kind of walking around is what you choose to compete at. That's for many of our competitors been clearly the case. Now, here is Kenny. Kenny is as we mentioned, our first bench-only competitor. Opens at 125. He is a 66 kg competitor, too. That is a big bench for a 66. It's twice his body weight, but it is quite slow. That kind of crawls up, and I think he'll have to right away alter some of his plans. However, that little tiny R that you're going to see in that top right corner of the bench one attempt and lifting cast on that bottom left, that signals he's taking a record attempt. So he should then already have that state record knocked out on his very first attempt for the Master 166. Again, folks, you're compared to those in both your age division as well as your weight class. Tad Husick here, speaking of, he's a sub-junior 105. He opens at 127.5. And he smokes that. Kenny, unsurprisingly, puts in a 2.5 jump, that's it. But he would then just break his own record. It's 127.5 also come up. Kyle Hudson, bottom of the flight, was unable to post a successful squat, but he did not receive a full finish. I'll tell you what, this kid is still exciting. He still is a very bright future. He's still absurdly strong. He's picking a 135 kg opener. Nominated for his first bench here. Kyle has two whites on the bench. Probably given up one of those lights to get it on a squat and just clip things his way, but was not to be. Was the only competitor to not register a successful squat attempt. Brown taking a second attempt here. It's 40 kg for her. That's a really big jump. Typically you'll find on the bench, especially for women's competitors. A 7.5 kilo jump though is knocked out for Sophia. It almost looked better with her second time around. Sophia Brown was another one of those competitors who was also at No Frills back in February. She missed her squats, all three of them at 105 kg, so she didn't quite triple. This means technically everything she hits today is a competition PR. Madison Lance knocks out 47.5, real nice and smooth like. Angela Dawood, 55 kg up next. Angela kind of false started, came out what she thought might be a little bit early, took a little step back, and now comes on the platform, 55 kilos for her second bench attempt. 48 years of age and still in the iron game. Well done for everybody that sticks with it for quite that long. She takes quite a while to get that stuff in. In fact, I don't know that she ever thought she was going to get it. I'll tell you why in just a moment, and we'll see if this does pass. It does. Okay, so it's 2 white lights. What all of our referees were looking at equally is, were her hips in contact with the bench plate? I say, it's going to be difficult to tell from our angle because we have to have side spotters. However, it is almost certain that her hips were in contact with the bench at some point. And so that will be part of the start command, right? If you don't see that proper positioning with the feet on the floor, the head and the hips on the bench, you won't hear that start command given. What you will hear typically is a replace command. That means that the lifter that is puts the bar back into the rack, and then our head referee will tell them exactly what they want to see to make an adjustment. No good here on the second for Emily Richardson with the minimum attempt there, so might retake it, she might scratch. Emily's 62.5 just stalled shortly off of the chest, but that's not going to be uncommon. We're going to tell you that there's likely going to be more of that before this flight is over. Allison Gressman, 62.5. She says her best gym total is about 324 kilos or so, 325. You know, she's probably making rough conversions from pounds to kilos. Says her favorite non-kind of powerlifting related exercise is pull-ups. Really impressive and a very humbling display. I think she's also taking quite a while to get her hips down and get into that proper position to get the start command. But boy, she had to hold it forever. Now 62.5 is just about perfect. She took almost 50 seconds of that attempt timer. That was really running down big time. Again, you get 60 seconds from the moment that the bar is loaded call is made by your head referee. However, that doesn't mean 60 seconds to complete your entire attempt. It means 60 seconds to get that start command. It's the same exact way with the squat to get the squat command. Savannah Lee, 72.5 kilos, another healthy jump for her. Years of age is Savannah. Trains most often out of DMV Iron. Said her best competition bench coming in was 57.5. Holy smoke, she's thrown 15 onto that. To add 15 kilos onto any lift within one single meet is spectacular. To do it on the bench press is sometimes unheard of from just one meet to the next. That is unreal. Kenny Onqueth is going to take another attempt here. Again, we already know that his first one was a state record, so that means that the second one is just him besting himself at 127.5. Here it comes. Again, he is a 66 kg competitor, weighted at 65.5. He's nearly at twice body weight on his second attempt. Opts for an Olympic weightlifting shoe with a raised heel. Some like to do that to feel a little bit more leg drive. He clips the racket, he's still got this. Now, did he toss it into the tape? No, it's close. What they don't tell you, there's a number of things that people don't tell you about this one, especially for those who have not been on a platform and competed before. There's things that aren't particularly, shall we say, intuitive about this one. When you had that racket command given, essentially the attempt is over at that point, but those spotters will take the bar from you and really toss it pretty aggressively back into the rack. I don't think everybody is aware of that, and it really surprised me at my first meet back at Powerlifting America Irongeddon. I was very surprised to find that out. I thought, oh, did I just miss the attempt? Did I miss a command or something? Tad Husick, 137.5 for his second bench. This kid's saucing this bar around, but I think he saw his hips come up here. I think this will be red lighted. Oh! It's only on his right side that it doesn't pass. I think Tad should, by the time he's done with his third bench here, I think he should come up and say thank you to all his referees quite nicely. we thought really from our angle that we saw his hips come up, and the moment that happens, typically you'll see a lit red light. Recommend given here for Kyle Hudson at 147.5. Holy cow. It's not all that much slower than that first is the thing. We have to think what could have been for his day if he had hit one of those squat attempts. He wasn't able to get one up on the board. He missed on depth with 12.5 on his first. And then everything else with the squats just didn't quite go right. He got some yellow cards with his left and his center. He was hammered. He got one single white light out of 3 squat attempts, 9 possible. Then he just has to be a little frustrated in himself, but there's nothing further he can do about it right now. Sophia Brown, she has made some great adjustments herself from no frills to now. Did not secure a number, but she's got a 45 kg. That is a number on the board here. That's the same as her third attempt from no frills, but this time she knows it's going to stick. So we'll begin to round out competitors' subtotals here, as this was the third bench press for Sophia. A subtotal refers to the total of an athlete's best squat attempt plus best bench attempt. That is the successful attempt of each. So Sophia Brown with a 75 kg third squat and a 45 kg third bench. The subtotal is up 20 kilos down. Madison Glant, 52.5 keys. She took a while to get that press going. Got kind of motionless. Now, did she maintain the feet on the floor and the hips? Oh, yes. Those are the 2 things that you really have to treat as non-negotiables in every single rep that you do without training, whether that be often you see no shorter than something like an 8-week meet prep, or if it's many years, if you've maybe been training for years or decades and you now just got on the platform for the first time. Sophia not really in that situation, but it's something you absolutely must be in training at all times so that your standards are above reproach, feet flat on the floor, and the hips on the bench. Angela Dawood once more out for her third bench. This is 57.5. And pushes that like just a sack of potatoes. Angela's 57.5 is done. 147.5 is Angela's subtotal now with the 90 kilo second squat. It started off a little bit rocky, missing her first squat on depth. Then the third squat at 95 was a little heavy. Now the bench press 3 for 3, that's much better news. Emily Richardson will be retaking 62.5 right here. Emily weighed in at 53.3 for the 57 class, so had plenty of room and has plenty of room still for those athletes who over time look to add muscle. It's great to know that you can stay within your desired class that rolls a little bit on her. What we mean by roll is the further that barbell comes away from the joints that are intending to press it, when that moment arm lengthens, it really becomes exponentially more and more difficult and more unlikely that you're going to get that press when that bar drifts away from you at all. The shorter, the more compact stroke for the bench press is almost always the more successful and stronger. Allison Gressman, 67.5 keys. She's made 2 jumps of 5 apiece. We like to see those linear jumps where you're not really taking something that's gonna, shock the nervous system a little bit too much. This would run her subtotal up to 185. Allison competing directly against Savannah Lee in the 76 kilo open class. She'll also, again, take a long time to get that start command. Shake even has some up and down to it. So, although the lift doesn't come up at all, we will tell you one more little wrinkle to the rule book that we haven't seen so far yet today, but it's a blue card that can be given on any of the 3 disciplines. Up and down, we call it. It is at any point that bar is headed upwards, and then it dips downward, and you regain that momentum, and you start to press it back up. No matter which of the 3 disciplines it is, that will be cause for a no lift. It's tough because many lifters have all of the strength in the world to do it. They just, whether they lose a little bit of focus or composure or balance or this, that, and the other thing, just a little bit of speed, it doesn't matter if the moment that it's gone down and then back up, you can't save it. And Savannah Lee is technically been really pushing off already so far today. She missed just that 3rd spot, which was too heavy, 65, and taking that big spot. But nice and successful bench after the 7.5 jump per second, which is objectively on the bench a big number and often be too much. Heading on a 130. He's already stacked 2 of his own state records for the 66 Masters 1s, and Kenny wants 1 more for good measure. Kenny for 1 more record here. It's 130, his final minute lift. Oh man, he's got all the heart and the power. We believed, and it just didn't quite come up in the last couple of inches before lockout. Chad Cusick 145, and then Kyle Hudson 160. Holy smokes. The thing about Kyle, too, still 17 years of age, and had he gotten a squat up on the board, this would stand as a state sub-junior 93 kilo bench record of 160, provided that it is a successful attempt here. Tad Cusick 145, a sub-junior 105. Holy cow. I think Tad again had his hips come off, but he wasn't red lighted last time. It's the same deal here. That will pass. 145. The second heaviest bench in the flight. Kyle Hudson's going to come out the heaviest. Everybody knew that. That's no surprise. But wow. Tad is very fortunate, I will say, but incredibly strong at the very same time. This is the final bench of Flight A. We'll turn it to Flight B and Tim Kennedy in just a mere moment. Kyle Hudson, just to interrupt, says, hold on, my record real quick. 160, the heaviest 93 sub-junior bench in the state of Michigan's history. Not quite. 2 jumps of 12 and a half. It makes sense on your squat, it makes sense on your deadlift. 2 jumps of 12 and a half on your bench. Unlikely most of the time that's going to be in the cards for most competitors. Kyle's clearly not most competitors, but yeah, it's tough. He's on a 2 for 6 day so far and does not have the ability to post a total after bombing out on the splits. Tim Kennedy, 85 kilo for his opening bench here. This is the first bench of Flight B. Again, you'll get 3 attempts for everybody out of Flight B, and then you can turn it down to Flight C and be out of here with the bench. We'll get that bench and the rack cleared out of the camera frame, and then we'll have 10 minutes of changeover time before our deadlifts begin. Tim Kennedy, 85 keys to start here. Looks more than good. Well done. Tim said his goal for of this meet specifically was a 200-pound bench. He didn't list any other lifts or anything. We found that pretty funny. Well, it's an opener which takes him within range of that 85 kilos to open. That's going to equate out to about 187.4. And then 92.5 will already put him over what he needs for that 200-pound bench. So he knows that number. Like, we get those numbers in our head that we circle or we tell ourselves, yeah, I'm definitely going to hit at least this. Gavin Martin, 97.5 to open. Gavin gave a really good look at his third squat at 160-235. Quite come up after the 160 was missed on depth. His opening bench is good, and everybody has a number up on the board as we get to this bench press. Kyle Hudson is the only one to bomb out so far. Again, you have to register at least one successful attempt on each of the 3 disciplines. So no matter where that bomb out comes, where you fail to get one across the 3 in the day, doesn't matter. 102.5 on the bar here, Elias Russell. I believe we heard him say Elias himself when he came to check in earlier this morning. If we misheard him or something, is Elias, shame on us. Elvin Topic, 105 kilos. His best competition bench is 117.5. Come on, buddy, let's go! A 93 open competitor. Elman is 30 years of age, weighed in at 92 for that 93 class. Looks like he cooked that opener.
Looks like this guy's supposed to probably just choose it.
That's well done. His subtotal is now 260 kilos. Once more, subtotal. Best bench attempt and best squat attempt successful added together. The total, of course, refers to the sum of all 3. So once we get into the deadlifts and everybody's at least got a deadlift on the board, we can start to tell you, okay, their current total sits at this number, and then their projected total based on what they're entering over the table sits at some other number. Connor Lee, 120 to open. That is a big bench for an 83, especially a big bench for an 83 junior. Connor weighed in at 79.2. Does have a really nice looking deadlift opener of 205. And we'll walk that around like so many feathers.
Business, baby, business. Business, baby. Business, baby.
Nicholas Nolan will be up next. Not a lot of issues on these opening benches at all. In fact, every single, boy, we should really knock on wood when we say this. Hopefully that's plausible for you. Every single opening bench has been successful so far. Nicholas Nolan, 137.5. Santa Maria, these 83s and these juniors are doing numbers. The 93, we gotta say, that's still the most impressive, is Jason Kleba with a 639 squat. Man, it looks like Nicholas Nolan is torching that as well. He appears to be handled today by Coach Brendan Pappen of Momentum Powerlifting. Indeed, Coach Pappen is over there at the sports table with him. Coach Pappen just creates a bunch of monsters. Really successful lifters across multiple federations, across age and weight classes, and male, female, of all shapes, sizes, heights, experiences, backgrounds. When they get to happen in the Momentum team, they really tend to take off. Jacob O'Hara, 137.5. Opener is booked. So Nicholas and Jacob took the exact same weight at 137.5. Here's where we'll throw one more small wrinkle at you compared to our powerlifting. Locked. You can see that on lifting cast. Again, you want to follow these results a little bit bigger. Be able to see it on a full screen version and not rely on that one in the bottom left hand screen. You can go to liftingcast.com, look for Powerlifting America Umbra Classic 2. I'll tell you more about that lot number after this press from Austin Milano. It's 142.5 to open. That's whacked and that's stacked. Alright, so a lot number is randomly assigned when athletes show up here and they check in. These numbers are given within each fight, and the lowest lot number within the fight is ideally the order in which the competitors would show up to weigh-ins. It has a tiny, or a couple of other tiny effects throughout the sport that you can show up from time to time. We'll explain those as we go along. Timothy can be 92.5, I'll tell you about the next way that lot numbers creep up and rear their ugly heads just after this attempt to tip. Man, that's shaky and quaky. I'm telling you, some just and don't lose any speed from it. Tim can't be one of them. So, one use for lot numbers that is a little bit more practical. When two athletes have the same exact number nominated for their attempt, the way that they determine the order of who's taking it first, and then however we progress through the order of other successive athletes continuing to take that same number, it's all determined by that lot number. So for example, Nicholas Nolan, his lot number 211 was lower than Jacob O'Hara's 217, so Nicholas went first. Gavin Martin, minimum jump here, interesting. Goes up only 2.5, it's 100 kilo for his second bench. If it's not bad by us, we got a little bit surprised when we saw that. We didn't recognize that he put in the one at the table, but then as they started loading it up, we thought we would have expected a little bit bigger of a jump, but we don't get it. It's your prerogative though, and if you know that the bench tends to slow down, there's a lot of athletes like that who, okay, I can hit my opener at, let's say, 90% of my max, and it looks like I've got 5+ reps in the tank. But then I go up just a couple percentage points, and my speed of the bench falls off dramatically. They're just like that. Elias Russell, 107.5. Man, that bar, again, is moving around on the chest. You've got to control a little bit more. If he's going to be able to stack that third bench and continue to chip away at his total, you'll have to probably tempo that bar down a little bit more, be a little bit more intentionally slow about it. That will allow a quicker press command, because the longer that you have to hang out on your chest, the more that stretch reflex will dissipate, and the more you'll have to really strain to get probably the same bar speed. Elton Beethoven, a 112.5 kilo second bench here. Right in the middle of Flight B's second bench press attempts. They've still got their thirds, then we'll go to Flight C and do this whole thing over again before we get to the deadlifts.
Nice. Easy.
Elman has got a nice low level. What I mean by that is where he brings that bar down to on his chest. There's a lot of different theories and thoughts about just what might be optimal, what might be ideal for touching. Basically, what you can consistently touch is a great idea, but where you can start to eke out some kilos, where you can start to really make your leverages work for you, is the highest point on essentially your ribs. It forces these athletes to crank up that arch into the lumbar and thoracic extension, right? Out muscle back, maintain that arch using the legs to push yourself into it. And one more point that any bar is to bring your chest up to the bar, not your that bar down, it's almost certainly a monster high type of version. It's really going to be tremendously difficult to correct on the fly. Let that bar drift down a little bit more impressive. You want to have that bar drift backward and up in terms of your bar path, and so some will call that a J-form. You can imagine from that on the chest position to go diagonally back and up toward the head. Nicholas Nolan, 142.5 seconds. Someone met the hips on him, and the lockout, it's up and top. I think it's all good from here. Oh, it's agonizing while those knights are taking a moment to think about it. They're hanging out. They're having a cup of coffee. Please show us the lights. No. Oh boy, it's red on the left and the right. So this is finally, we are hearing, given a red light because of his hips coming off. If he had had just one red light, as we've seen a number of times with other competitors having their hips come off, it would have passed. But because you get two reds, no such luck. Jacob O'Hara, 145 for his second bench. There is a bunch of big benchers in this fight, saying that 5 times fast. Jacob's best squat was 207.5, missed on 215. He does tempo this thing all the way down. You see he's controlling every single inch of that range of motion. He then seems to slow down right towards the top. There's a lot that can happen to influence that slowdown. There is, in general, wherever the competitor takes their grip, that can definitely factor in strongly to what their lockout looks like. There is sometimes some muscular imbalance where the chest is more developed on some lifters than the triceps are. There's just inherent fatigue that accumulates during the day to slow down your third temps. There's so much to it. Austin Malawa has not been slowed down at any point today, man. That's 152.5, 336 since he here. Austin has the highest subtotal of anybody so far on the day. 372 shot. Now Jason Gleva will not be outdone when we look down to the bottom of Flight C once we get there. I'm kind of happy that we're not there yet to be able to save and build some suspense. We're at 10:57 a.m. The second round of benches on Flight B. We're not going to make any comments on, okay, the pacing of the day. We're simply going to say thank you very much to our loaders, spotters, beat directors. We appreciate you all tremendously. Tim Kennedy on 95 for his second bench. Gets that start command. That might solve a bit what he did. Alright, so we told you that towards the top it can be a lockout issue that causes people to really slow down there, right? It can be some underdevelopment of the triceps. It can be just based on where they take it. Anybody who does tend to be very wide may be a little bit less tricep working, not that lockout range. And then when you miss right in the midpoint of a lift, that is what we call typically in the business a strength miss. Meaning, it kind of didn't matter what my technique was doing, I'm just simply not quite there yet, or I was fatigued enough to not be able to crank my strength up quite that high on the ground. Gavin Martin, 105. I'm telling you, he had way more. This is racked on the third, like, an opener, maybe. Gavin had zero issue at all. Gavin, by the way, is 18 years of age, so he was eligible to enter as a sub-junior. He decided to enter the open age division. That open age division typically reserves those competitors beyond the age of 23 and just shy of that age of 40. But when you want that higher level of competition, you know that there's going to be lots of 83 open competitors. You can choose to enter both. It just costs you a little bit more in registration fees, but that's great. Elias Russell, 112.5. Get it off! It's polished, it's pretty, it's perfect. 137 and a half, and then Nicholas Nolan 142 and a half. Standout bench
Go!
out this plate, folks. We got another comment for Angela Dawood. Call her the crowd favorite so far. Certainly seems to be accurate.
Get in there, stay tight. Get it, go!
Elman is crawling through his third, but I still think it looks great from here, and that will match an all-time best on the bench. He's also a guy who has competed in the APF here in Michigan a couple of times. Was a raw with wraps competitor, as we mentioned, so that does tend to boost the squat a lot, but you don't get any benefits the bench press, as he was not competing equipped. Again, we do not have any equipped lifters here today, all raw competitors. Basically means you get to a single, a bench one, or you get a belt rather, if you could choose to use any or all of the three disciplines. You get the benefit of wrist wraps for all three as well. Though you do not have to use just about any of those things besides the singlet. Connor Lee, 137.5. Folks, he opened at 120. He's now taking a bigger jump from his second to his third. You rarely see that. Installed just a tad too far. And that universal sign that you want to see in side spotters is typically the wisest thing is to shake your head and signal to them clearly, I don't have it. You never want them to pull it early. They want to give you every chance to fight and scratch and claw to be able to find that if you make it.
Let's go!
Nicholas Nolan, 142.5, missed because his hips came off on the last one. We heard his side referee say it. Gotta focus up, gotta tighten that up. Keeps him down here, maybe. Oh, but then at the very end, he breaks that low back up. Might be feeling a little bit uncomfortable after that. I'm looking at him as he's coming off. It looks okay, but he shook a great deal. And again, you also saw that bar start to drift down his chest, not coming in the right direction, and it's really difficult to make that adjustment as the lever arms get worse and worse. Jacob O'Hara, his third bench here comes at 150. Austin Malawa put in 165 at the bottom of the flight. It's about to get nuts. 150 keys for the competition as Jacob O'Hara, and now he shook that quick. He had to make a business decision here. You know he's still got the deadlift on there. And you want to preserve the greatest percentage of your total that you can, as it were. Alright, so this is the final bench attempt for Flight B. It's Austin Malawa. He's been at the bottom of the flight for everything so far, and this is just 7.5, or no, 2.5 under his all-time best. Austin Malawa on 165. Oh my, do you believe that he got that all the way through? Yes, he did. He gets one red light. There's a handful of things that red light can do. There's some really uncommon ones that you very rarely see. For example, the bar not making it all the way to the chest. It's very, very rare, but technically it can happen because typically the referees wouldn't give you a press command at all if they can't see that that bar is motionless and paused on the chest. It is a rule that exists in the rulebook though. There is elbow depth that has been recently added to Powerlifting America, as well as its international affiliate, of course, the IPF, International Powerlifting Federation. Elbow depth refers to the fact that the elbows have to dip below the deltoid. That is a very difficult rule to see, very difficult rule to enforce, because it does get some very controversial calls at high levels, at international levels. Zachariah Sharneski opens on 115. He already put a 12.5 kilo PR on his squat. And he opens just 2.5 below his best bench, set at Powerlifting America back on February 1st. Folks, this is August the 2nd. It really is a pretty quick turnaround for him as well as Sophia Brown. They both competed, that is, at No Frills, and now made this turnaround in about 6 months' time to get here on Classic 2. Wyatt Edmeyer, 120 kilos for his opening bench. Joseph Valente and Ryan McCutcheon will follow. Wyatt is quiet and will not start a riot. Does not have that 120 with ease. He's got a lot of room to move up. He does. If it's a 7.5 jump or so for him, we would not be surprised. Typically, that makes a lot of sense on the bench press to move in something like 15 kilos below the top attempt and then go about 2 jumps of 7.5-ish. It's really a generalization, and it especially works more so for kind of middleweight male competitors. However, those are the most populated weight classes, the 83 and 93 kilos, even up to the 105s, but that's a tiny bit less populated than those other two. He jolts that. He did an extra speed that not everybody is well, the low back truly is, it's tremendously contracted, and I don't know if everyone recognizes that. He's the arch position for lifting the muscles. Some think that, okay, it mostly happens in the thoracic spine. There really is an inescapable lumbar extension that has to be found as well. And typically that is to a degree accomplished by getting the heels closer to the head in the setting.
I can't keep track of my digits, like my numbers.
Stephen Haslam, 135, his opening bench. He was real close to missing his third squat at 220. That was a tough moment for him and a scary place to be in, but he made the survival squat. Him and Kyle Hudson were the only two that even get into that position, but Kyle was unsuccessful on his third. Stephen was. As such, he's still got a chance to post the total. Now get that 135 on the board first, as he does here. No issue. Stephen Haslam again is a 120 junior and open double entrance. That means that you can receive a medal for both of the junior and open divisions of the 120 class if you need it. Bar loaded now, Mike Romanchik is taking 150. His heaviest attempt ever in a competition was the APF Michigan National Championships last year at 167.5. And so it's 17 and a half that he would still need to go up to match that PR. That's a lot. But it's not out of the question. He took a smaller jump from his second to his third squat, so he might want to take that same kind of formula here. Have a decently big jump from his first to his second bench, which isn't always wise, but to take you in range where you don't have to make a big jump from the third bench to hit a PR may be wiser. Mike did not do that at all. Mike went and put in a 5-kilo jump up to 155. His prerogative, and he knows his body better. than any other. Ronald Prusa 155 to open. Puts 3 whites. And his subtotal now at 415 kilos. He's going to have the heaviest subtotal for about 30 seconds until Jason Kleba comes up and knocks out this 190. We're going to speak it into existence, folks. Literally head to toe. He's just positively frightening. Jacek is wise here to go and tell his referees exactly what he's looking for with his spotting and likely with the handoff as well. Gets a handoff from Lee there, from Lee that is. Now that start command, 190 keys for the heaviest bench opener. It's the heaviest bench attempt, and it's smoked like the others. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? He tossed his 290 kilo third squat around like he could have had well over 300. And now it looks like all the world, his bench is going to go over 200 as well. What on earth is this? It is tough to remember a teenager walking around looking like this and doing this ever in the state of Michigan or powerlifting America. Or that's not teenager, Jacob. 22 years of age. I meant to say is a junior competitor. That's the second bench press attempts done here for Flight C. That means just those third benches coming, and then it'll be 10 minutes to change over time and on to the deadlifts. Zechariah Sharneski, top PR on the bar for the second bench. He's got it. That is easy. Got comments? Chat, let's go, Jay. One presumes those are for Jason Kleba. And unreal numbers that Jason's got on the board already. 480 kilos subtotal. We'll go and give you the conversions if we can even find it, if our charts even go up that high. But we're talking about 1,058 pounds across 2 lifts. And he still has 2 more benches to bump that up. Wyatt Admire 120, 7.5 to 7.5. Jump. It's a little slow. That's a little freaky crawling, but it's more than good enough. It's another one of those when you're taking your very first powerlifting competition attempts, you just don't know exactly what it's going to feel like. He said he wants to have fun. His goals for the meet, right? Having fun is a tremendous goal. And then the other one is how he likes competing in powerlifting. I think that is a really good idea as well. Don't just say that, okay, immediately when I enter, this is going to be what I'm going to do, and I'm going to let it become my whole identity, my personality. Really smart of him to say, see how I like it. Ryan McCutcheon, who's a 10-timer grinding down, I don't know if he was aware of it, but he's making his hustling way on out here. His timer was down, like 25 seconds. He's still got plenty of time. Again, you just have to get that start command before that timer runs all the way out. It's all well and good. He had another 15 seconds or so in it. We got another 7.5 kilos, the more important part. Ryan McCutcheon is halted on his second. Joseph Valente, 7.5. Joseph was another competitor who also took the platform at Powerlifting America No Frills, that is. At the time there at No Frills, he totaled 575 kilos. Missed a 145 bench there, so his bench PR is 137.5. He matched that on his second attempt. On that last attempt we just saw on your screen. That means anything he's able to hit over 137.5 will be a competition best. Steven Haslam, 145 coming up. Talk about your slow and steadies. Steven just won the race with that. He was at the same pace throughout the entirety of the lift. Most lifters just aren't quite like that. They have some sticking point where the lift really tends to slow down aggressively, and it's visual that that's happening. Mike's 155 will be followed by Ronald's 167.5, and then it gets utterly ridiculous. Jacek has put in a 202.5 hold. Mike will launch this 155 with relative ease, we may say. Big Ron, an Oxford native, does not have a coach. I tell you, it's tough to get to his kind of level. You can see what kind of level that he's at without one. But he's putting in a state record for his deadlift opener. He's going to stack a huge total before we're out of here. This is plus 12.5 on his bench. If he can get this. And that's a comp PR 2 of 7.5 already. He is on fire. Basic 11 now at the bottom of the flight, as he has been, as he will be, as just about every meet he'll ever do will likely find him there. Holy smokes. It says his favorite assistance exercise is belt squats. It's a really good idea for building a ton of horsepower in the hips, in the legs, without beating up your back too much. Did not have to cook his back by any means to squat a 290 with ease. He ought to have a whole lot more if he needs to empty his tank. Probably not going to happen by any means on his second bench, but it is 202.5. That's 446. Oh my lord, that's unnerving in every way. If he wants to go near 500 pounds, if you would tell him that he can't bench it, I don't think anyone or anything is going to, not even the itself. It is utterly uncommon what Jacek is doing today. I hope everybody recognizes and feels that. Zachariah Charneski already has a bench PR of 2.5. This is a 10 spot more. To go all the way up to 130 to launch beyond where he's ever been before. Zach is back 130. A 12.5 bench PR. And we already know that it's a very, very good deadlift. You might have a good deal on his deadlift PR as well and have what we call a super meet. Super meet referring to a 9-for-9 meet typically with PRs across all 3 lifts as well as your total. He is 6-for-6 so far. Got a couple of other lifters with a chance to do the exact same, but it's a really tough task. Wyatt Edmeyer is 4 out of 5 right now. This is a 5.5 as well. Everything good. but that should be good enough. And he'll pass that third bench. That was a treat for us, probably to watch. Not so much for him with the sticking point that he caught, but outstanding. Great number on the board. We keep rolling. We're in the middle here of the third benches for the third flight of the day. Ryan McCutcheon now beating Mac 142.5 keys. And not quite that will be he would like but it's also his first. I think you do see really the inexperience come into play when he wasn't quite sure that his attempt was up. He had to run on really late on the attempt timer for his last attempt. One of those things you'll just learn to to check how far out you are. You learn to follow along with the lifting past results, or have your amateur coach or somebody tell you, hey, you're up in 2 attempts from now, you better go get in line and going. To have somebody do that for you is a real mental boon. Joseph Valente, a 145 kg top PR on the bar. Jose Maria y Jesus, that's plenty good enough. Boy, we dug into the Spanish and we're hoping really to not have to eat crow by saying it and then all of a sudden it doesn't come up. We're very grateful that it did. 7.5 kilo bench PR for Joseph Valente, and he is 6 so far. Stephen Haslam, 150 for his third bench. Township made it. Another one of those getting to train out of the home gym. His first meet. You wouldn't really know it by watching the bench now, would you? Everything he came here for and more. Let's see. White lights. You have one yellow car coming in and then 2 red lights, I guess you could say, not locked out. You gotta hold that bar at full extension long enough to get that rack in. I think that's the small wrinkle that they were saying. 157.5 for Mike. He's got the third to last bench here for Powerlifting America Umbra Classic 2. Tanner White, so glad to be alongside you all day long. We got 11:22 a.m. Our bench presses are just about to wrap up. Like a technician in that truest sense of the word. He's got a 385 subtotal and just has 0 technique breakdown when that starts getting heavier and heavier. Execution has been great so far. Like Ronald Russo has maybe been brute forcing it a little bit, but I tell you, if brute force is working for you, you might want to just stick with it. Run his subtotal up to 435 kilos. He'll be on almost 1,000 pounds from just 2 lifts. Ronald Russo's best bench coming into today was 160. He's got 167.5 on the board already. This would be a plus 15 to his lifetime bench best. Holy smokes. He's got 3 red round things on the bar. And it's that same old song and dance. The moment that arm starts to lengthen, the likelihood of that bench coming up in the unit. It up back to the head. It's next to nil. So this has all been fun. It's all been well and good. These were appetizers that made course coming now. Jason Cleva, 215 keys. Would you believe that in 93 is ever been to this night and staying here? We have that. We're completely unaware of it. Jason Cleva Leva is mentally going to whatever place you've got to go to bench 474 pounds and some change as a junior. Many of us, yours included, will never know. 215 kilos to punctuate the bench. Holy smokes alive! He's got more in the tank for the 215 bench. What are they eating these kids? Never seen anything like that, folks. Been in this sport a long time. Went to USAPL Raw Nationals this year. Saw Devontae Lewis set an all-time sleeve world record. He had never seen anything quite like this. 215 kg is the heaviest bench of anybody's day. Unbelievable number there. A bunch of great presses all around. Ronald Russo 167.5 for his second, with already a 7.5 PR from Brian Cherniewski, Joseph Clemente, you name it. And all of our first-time competitors, they put a bench number up on the board for the first time, like Brian McCutcheon, and it's still an awesome number. It's well beyond 300 pounds for them. Now, folks, we've got 10 minutes of changeover time. That rack already being cleared out of that trimmer frame. And when we come back, it's time for the deadlifts, our final discipline of the day. Xander White, once more, so glad to get you here for Powerlifting America Umbra Classic 2. Don't go anywhere with the deadlifts coming right up.
Come on, girl. Woo!
It's not even afternoon yet. Can you believe it? We're still saying good morning here with the opening deadlift of the day, 11:38 a.m. Folks, we are cruising. And that very first deadlift, Sophie Brown, Madison Glenn, lockout. It's our final discipline of the day already here, folks, for Powerlifting America Umbra Classic 2. Welcome on back in Taylor White. So glad to be with you here for the second iteration of the Umbra Classic. Live here from Umbra Strength in Shelby, Township. With those against Powerlifting America continuing to grow, and everybody looking forward to the Powerlifting America Invitational, that invite-only sort of all-star game of the Federation, coming up on that final weekend of September over at Raw Strength in Kalamazoo. I'll also be with you over there. The last chance for some of these athletes to qualify before we get to that point. And Madison Lance is on her opener going to take not only a state record for the 52 kilo junior class, but also a total record already. On her very first attempt, all she's got to do is hit this opener, and then she'll be competing with just herself in terms of the 52 juniors all time here in Powerlifting America in the state of Michigan. Squares up to that bar, makes the arms nice and long, and now her opening pull comes. And it comes up, she's back. A little bit of an exaggerated lockout. We never say that though as a bad thing. It's exactly the opposite. To exaggerate that lockout just a little bit, fullest capabilities of extension, and you show that I am undeniably locked in. Just one command with the deadlift, folks. It is the simplest on the lifts technically. And the way what that command is just after the and the downward here. She opens at 120 kg. And that's successful. So the one command that you're going to hear coming, you can hear it a little bit in the background here. We're not really a crowd like as the loud here in Umbra. That without blowing your nose out. But that single command that we give is down. Really easy to remember. Now this, you can start pulling on that bar whenever you should like. You get out there, and then it's just the loneliest feeling in the world. It's you and the iron and nothing else. And then as soon as those referees determine, okay, you are fully locked out, you're standing upright with the hips, knees, and the shoulders back, and they'll give you that down command to lower that bar to the floor. You do not have to control it all the way down, however, you do keep the hands in touch with it. Cannot release the bar entirely. So we can adjust our camera frame play just a little bit, and maybe Amanda Farr, our referee, do our best weight on that in a moment. Allison Dressman, 130 kg coming up for her opener. Should be good by us.
Relax. 474
Oh my God.
And as we do get our camera frame adjusted for there, we got our first men's competitor, Tab Music, out of this flight. He pulls on a 215, he yanks that thing, and a successful opening deadlift for him as well. Already down to the bottom of the flight here. Kyle Hudson, 220 kg for his opening deadlift. What could have been for his day, we told you it really could have been tremendously special. It's still incredible that he has loaded a 230 squat, a 160 deadlift. This guy is a sub-junior at just 17 years of age. And it really wasn't that long ago that Kyle was last year at the Motor City Muscle Meet, was 16 years old there, and he's gotten so much stronger. He posted a 547.5 kilo total there, rather. just this year at high school nationals, 600 kilos. So in 2 meets time, he put 52.5 kg on his total. A tremendously bright future for him, yes, but does bomb out for this one. He is still the only one who has failed to register a total. Sophia Brown, 85 kg, second deadlift. She's up the top of the fight here. And is calm, cool, and collected on her second. Sophia, a Grand Rapids native, mostly out of the YMCA in Grand Rapids, she says. Right off the highway, they're a very nice looking YMCA. It's got just clear windows that just allows you to see over much of the city skyline. Says she loves training upper body more than she does lower. Says her favorite exercise is anything upper body. Much respect. Emily Richardson, 107.5 kgs for her second. Oh! That was awfully grindy. Right in the middle of the form. You never want to be at that point. You're really hanging on the spinal erectors to a degree. Those who elect for the conventional stance. We will talk about now, as it seems, the two different stances. How they are employed. Conventional deadlift, the hands outside of the legs, like you see Madison Plant taking here. Again, another deadlift and total record. She is competing only with herself today. That is outstanding. She's a 152 junior entrant, so she knew that she was going to win the class. Now she's setting all these records and really pacing herself well beyond anybody else that's ever come through that 52 points. Angela Dowd with a 7.5 kilo jump. She'll also be opting for that conventional stance. So when you do see the sumo stance, the legs will be wider, the hips will be externally rotated and abducted or moved away from the body. Angela 127.5 is all nice and silky smooth with it. Now it's 275 kilos. Savannah Lee did give us a good example of the sumo deadlift, so we will highlight her when she comes up for her attempt in just a moment. Allison Gressman is up here at 137.5. Tad Music is jumping to 250. He's putting in a 35 kilo jump. Let's go! Nice. Allison Gressman does also set up for that sumo stance. Her legs are kind of lined up roughly with the rings of the barbell. You can't quite see it in the picture. It's not a bad look at it. Allison has a bit of an inch of her step there towards the top, but she's got it blocked and gets that down in and say successful lift there on 137.5. We waited on the lights because we just don't want to assume we have made too many mistakes today in assuming, but nonetheless, thought that should be clear enough. Savannah Lee, 140 kilos. She's been well out front of Allison Gressman, as those are the only two 76 kilo open competitors.
What? Just with your mom behind the thing a little.
Savannah's got a wide pull. That could be done in a library. Smokes that 140. Allison Gressman went in and put a 142.5 in at the table. Savannah might jump another 10 or so. My best guess is going to be 7.5, but it could be anywhere between 5 and 10 that she elects for. Kyle Hudson up next at 230 kilos, and then Tad Usyk at 250 at the bottom of flight A. Second deadlift attempts nearly dusted for everybody. And then, folks, we can just 2 more flights of this, and we will be out of here for Powerlifting America Umbra Classic 2. Kyle looks the part. He looks all like he is going to be one of these sports elite sooner rather than later. Already is outstanding, already is unconquerable. But some of the mental mistakes that cost him on the squats, they cost him a total today. Tad Usyk, 250. 550 1 and some change. Oh my goodness gracious, you're not supposed to be able to ragdoll that. Not at his age, 18 years old, and this kid has there's so many veterans of even heavier weight classes who can be that veteran. He just body bagged 250 kilos after a 35 kg jump. And if he takes another 20, even another 25, it's almost certain to come up. Sophia Brown, top of the flight, 100 kilos for her. And that is tremendous progress. It deadlifted 92.5 at no hurdles in February. Plus 7.5 for her deadlift coming up.
Come on, Sophia!
Body bag. Absolutely she did. And to come off of a bomb out at no hurdles not long ago and go 8 for 9 today, clean up every single little technical inch that he went off into making such a huge improvement in most all of these career numbers a day it's been. Sophia Brown, 220 total on the back case, 75 squat, 25 bench day, 100 kilo deadlift. Emily Richardson on the 110 here. Second place among the 57 kg heavy. Pardon us, she's the only 57. But second place among the non-fast lifters. Watch that, but not by much. Jumping just getting on the gas. 265 is what we're having sit up. Madison Lynch. He has a couple of records from the junior 52s. All of her bars loaded tall. Madison to yank a 120 here. Another state record for the deadlift, another state total record. Madison Lynch last
strong approach. Is she going to get strong? Yes, good. Competing with women's raw master, 163. Ladies and gentlemen, the bar is loaded for Angela. Let's give her a big round of applause.
135 on the bar here. Would be a contest. And she found that final here. Angela bests her numbers from Powerlifting America Motor City Muscle. He was an Open and a Masters 1 entrant there. And today has increased her status as a Master with a 5 kilo deadlift PR and a 2.5. Allison Gressman. Another 5 kg on the total. On the line here, 142.5. And if you don't quit, you become impossible to break. Set her goals just to do them. I think she's going to have many higher goals as she progresses throughout this sport. 37, just getting close to the competitive stage. She's got a ton of potential. Savannah Lee, the heaviest Umbra deadlift. It's 145 keys if she can stack this last pull. Easier. That's easier than the second. That is like she's just still warming up. Tremendously impressive.
Our next lifters and men are all set to the 90-40. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Kyle to the plank floor. Your call is loaded.
Kyle Hudson, one more time. Kyle comes out with a 240 on the bar. This is 2 jumps of 10 apiece. I really like this. Remember, Kyle did not register a successful squat. He won't be getting the total, but he will know where that bar should be for his next time out there. And I'm telling you, there's very few with a brighter future than this guy. Kyle locks that 240 with relative ease, and now Tag Music wants to take a 600-pound pull. We wondered if he might. I knew that, okay, 275 was probably his play. He wanted to let it all hang out. But it's still a 22.5 jump. When was the last time you took a 22.5 jump, folks? Tad is just still learning where his limits lie. He hasn't found them nearly yet, and that is a 32.5 kg deadlift PR. What on earth? He competed at USAPL High School Nationals, 16 years of age at that time. This is barely, not even a year and a half later, he's put 32.5 on. That rounds out Flight A's deadlifts. We got 2 more flights worth of these, and then we'll be all out of your hair, and we will say thank you and so long for the final time today. We got more Go Angela in the chat. My goat Maddie and Angie getting it. Opening pull here of Flight B, Tim Kennedy, 135. All good from over here. He is our only 74 kg male, and as a 74 kg competitor myself, folks, I gotta tell you, it's a little bit sad to me to see how the open does see the cutoff for their lightest weight classes at 59 kg. I'm telling you, 74s aren't that small, just, you know, most of us are a little bit vertically challenged, as it were. Gavin Martin, 182.5. Opening pull here coming. His total dangerously close to that 1,000-pound mark. We'll likely be able to take it on his second attempt if this should come up early enough. Lots of tall deadlifters is what's sticking out to us. Height not necessarily determined. The longer arms, no matter what else you look like, is always a benefit. More comfortable, less. Bar now loaded for Elias Russell at 197.5 kg. He's also opting for the conventional stance. That has really been much preferred stance so far today. powerlifters overall. Has not been a day dominated by the shoulder lifters. It's kind of one tremendous outlier in that.
Documenting the rise to go.
Nicholas Nolan on.
Come on, Nick. So much good, baby. Come on, Nick. Do it, baby. Show me some, son.
All successful deadlift openers here from everybody. In fact, we had all successful second deadlifts and only a single missed third throughout all of Flight A. A ton of green on the scoreboard, a ton of white lights. We love it. Nicholas Nolan gets one red from the front. Now, typically a red light in the deadlift is going to be for lockouts. Eventually, you gotta have the knees and hips fully extended, standing erect. And then a very recent addition to the rulebook here in Powerlifting America that you technically could see come into play. They also want to see deltoids positioned behind the barbell when you lock out. They don't want to see them in front of it. That's something that maybe those who do tend to aggressively round the thoracic spine could see a little bit of, where maybe the shoulders stay a little bit slouched, but it's unlikely to be called at any point today. Though it does stand on the rules. Connor Lee all good on 205. Jacob O'Hara up next. Big leap up in the weight. Wow, Jacob is opening on 237.5. And his best competition goal ever is 245. His heaviest attempt, though, 260 at USAPL Pursuit of Power back on March 29th. 35 years of age is Jacob, and continuing to set his all-time strength higher and higher. Actually, this pull-out, it's 590 kg, his total mass. Among all 83s, in terms of the juniors, Connor Lee has the highest total so far at 525 kilos. Just 2.5 ahead of Nicholas Nolan, however, so those two might ping pong around. Jacob O'Hara will put in a 10 kilo jump for his second. It's going to be 247.5. Way beyond 500 pounds, down at the bottom of the plate here, folks. Austin allow a 257.5. That's 568 pounds, give or take. Man, does he have a smoky lockout. It is really noticeable. All part of lockout versus those who there. It almost seems off under lockout. And that can be difficult with the sumo deadlift more so than the conventional. It's one of those where you know that there's a trade-off that you're making technique-wise, not just in terms of, okay, what hits my left hand, but also, how does the bar does it come off the floor faster? And if that's the case, then it usually slows down a little bit that lockout. If it slows off the floor, but it's easier to lock out, that can all determine your choice of stance. Timothy Kennedy, yes, 7.5. All good. Says he trains out of He's another one of those first-time competitors. He gives a really interesting answer for his favorite exercise. He says the captains of crush grippers, those little grip trainers that you squeeze them and you try to get them to close them together. He says he's closed a 1.5 gripper, and that's no joke. Especially if you're a 74 and you have kind of a 74's hands. Yours truly having known for having not particularly big hands. It's a difficult ask, but it's impressive to be able to close any of those, even the number one. Gavin Martin, 187.5 is Well done. So, in order to get that 1,000 kilo total, Gab would need to put in at least a 7.5 kg jump up to 455 kilos. I think you should do it, to tell you the truth. Not because, oh, we're chasing a number, because I think that that is reasonable and within his kind of middle of his top range, as it were, for the day. Not at the very top of it, not at everything you can possibly make out. But I think it's going to be there. Elman 207.5 for his second pull here. Put me in second place among those open 93s. You will see Elman taking advantage of a little bit quicker letting down of the bar. You can't say it's dropping, you can't say dumping, but he is allowing the bar essentially to fall to the platform. All you've got to do is keep your hands on it. At no point can you let go, but you have seen across pretty much all federations, somebody will pass out as long as their hands stay in contact with the bar. Doesn't matter. You can literally completely lose consciousness, as sometimes the deadlift has been known to do to people, and pass the lift anyway.
Let's go! Come on, let's go!
15 kg for Elias on his second pull to run his total up to 492.5. Not that's a ton. And as he blocks this, he might have outside shot at loading for that 500 kilos. You have to jump another 7.5, which, considering the slowdown there and the fact that he jumped 17.5 the first time, is a lot to ask, but it's possible. It can be done.
Get in there, let's go!
Utterly on 220 keys, 540 total on the line if he pulls this second one. 15 kilo jump coming. Looking to stay out ahead very slightly of Nicholas. Connor is money on the 220.
Play nerd games.
Austin Malawa at the bottom of the plate. As you might expect, that's where you'll find him. That's where you found him all day long.
Let's go, boys!
Nicholas Nolan took a slap off screen. Some of those love it. Whatever you got to do to get all of it. You start to let most of that power loose when you get to that second attempt on the third deadlift. You obviously have to pretty much complete.
Let's go!
Way more to go after. Jake O'Hara, 237.5 coming up there. Best pull of all time, 245, the PR on the bar. PR on the bar on your second attempt, really nice spot to be in. Mark 207.5, that is 145. Second pull here, 247.5 is Crawley. But it's quality too. That's going to be one of the toughest slant drives that we've used. If not the most convincing, we apologize, but it's been a long day. Rolling for the lips at 9. 7 p.m. Again, we cannot thank our people director Alicia enough. All your motors, spotters, our technical controllers on the platform, man. A little bit of everybody that goes into quite such a successful meet all around. Austin Malawa, 270 keys. Quiet. He does take a moment to shoot the hips a little bit. But that hip pull that you can see, especially when you're even lighter weight lifters who really like past lifts, speak like but his arms are pulling tension out of the bar, slap out of the bar. Finds that proper height for his hips to be set. Hangs out in that stretch reflex after you found that bottom of your squat and started to pump up. That stretch reflex hangs out for a couple seconds in those hips. Tim Kennedy, one final pull to round his day out, 160 on the bar, 395 total on the line, and this guy belongs. Welcome to the platform. We hope to have you again soon. After we consume that same game, because we just love to see the lighter guys. It makes sense to see huge people with different weights, right? It does. But to see this huge people with different bodybuilding weights is, for what it's worth, for yours truly, a little bit more enjoyable at times. Gavin Martin knew that number that he needed for the 1,000 pound total, throws it on here, 195 kilos, to run his total up to 455, and explodes on he had more too. Gavin Martin, bang. That's 7 for 9 for him. Second in the squat, but they were small jumps. That's for sure. He had enough in the tank to load what he wanted or needed on that third deadlift. Saunter out in just a moment. 220 kg on the bar. Best pull with Powerlifting America, just 205. Missed on 210 at Umbra Classic last year. And now this is 220 at Umbra Classic 2. What a difference a year can make, right? So show us. Elvin will sit on a 480 kilo total. Basically forecasted second among the open 90 degrees. Behind Austin Lau.
Go, Connor!
Getting everybody behind him now. A 501 pound pull on the bar here. Yes, he is. Had to dump it. That is one of the most valiant fights we've seen all day long.
It's fucking
This is going to be the same weight taken here by Elias Russell. Is 2.7.5 as well. We've seen a couple back-to-back misses on the thirds. The high percentage, though, has been hit at this point. We're nearly third deadlifts with light B. Whoa, that thing went helicopter. I went down and up. I think he's thinking the same thing. And it will not pass. Also gets red lights, so for what it's worth, that's probably on lockout. We're going to say he didn't quite get those hips and knees all the way. That means Nicholas Nolan is certain to take 83s, but he still have a chance to tack 20 kilos on.
Get your left, baby, come on!
Stacked around it. Nick Nolan to run the total to 562.5. Grip. Put it down. And walk off a winner. Now, we still have the lights up from Elias, though. What we're interesting. We've got two reds going. I thought for sure that Vic was going to pass his. Maybe this is one of those from time to time. It's just a completely cast issue electronically. Oh no, in fact it did not pass. So he also must be hit on the surprised to see that, but it'll happen. Jacob O'Hara, 255. Jacob's best pull in competition. USAPL Pursuit of Power back on March 29th. About a 4-month turnaround to get here to the Umbra Classic with Powerlifting America. 255, the PR on the bar. 607.5, the total in place still. Stalls toward the knee. 4 red round things in the yellow plates. We never got to the finish telling you got to the other things. But we mentioned the reds are 25 each, a pair being 50. Blue plates are the next denomination. Those are 20 kg each. Yellow plates saw
17 plus time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's repeat the round of applause to Austin your
each. Austin Malawa, real smart man, went and dapped up all those side spotters, and now he's got 280 on the bar. APR pull coming. Austin Malawa's 665 total is in the books. Bang! A PR pull. In this federation, at least that is. His all-time heaviest pull was set with the WRPF and at a heavier body weight. Heaviest pull so far belongs to Austin Malawa at 280. And to tell you the truth, there aren't many who are going to have a chance to go well over that. We will be up at the top of flight C here. Our final flight of the day begins with Brian McCutcheon, B-Mac. Will open on a 195, and that's plenty within his capabilities. His total sitting at 550 kilos right now after that first pull. Joseph Valente comes up next. And then Mike Romanchik will take the same attempt at 217.5. Stephen Haslam in the hole right now. Zachariah Charneski to follow. At the very bottom of the flight that is, Ronald Prusa will be opening with a state junior 120 kilo deadlift record. Joseph Valente, easy enough, his all-time heaviest pull, 242.5. I don't know that he's going to get all the way to that. That would require 2 healthy jumps, but he has been known to jump pretty heavy before. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Mike's best all-time deadlift, 242.6 in the APF. See, Mike might be within that range. He is a little bit more comfortable on his opener even, I think, than Joseph was, and moving a little bit quicker. He's got a chance. Stephen Haslam, 220 kilo opener. Squats were rocky, missed his first 2, and his third squat was the same now as his deadlift opener. That's roughly in line with what you expect, though, from a lot of competitors. Most athletes, on average, will be able to deadlift a little bit more than they squat. And maybe somewhere in that range where, yeah, roughly my deadlift opener is the same as my squat. So that's highly individualized, highly dependent on your individual leverages and technique and what you enjoy training most, what you put the most volume within a training week into. Many of those things add up together. Jordan is on to 25. Just a hair under 500 pounds for his opening pull. and make it look all good. Got some more comments. Joe Zafar and Kurlemsky for the win. LFG spotters and loaders. Yes, folks, be sure to tip your spotters and loaders at all times.
Let's go, Wyatt! Get tight. Big brace. Lock it. Yes, sir.
Big pull there for Wyatt Evans. Sack of potato style. That's 32.5. Jason Cleva. He has a 255 deadlift open footed, a world-class bench, an unbelievable squat. The deadlift maybe makes a small trade-off as he does have a little shorter arms. You can tell he'll have to start a little bit more bent over than other sumo deadlifters. When you can be essentially standing straight upright in that sumo deadlift, it is advantageous. Your body can find something. Many are not anatomically fit. He is not guaranteed in any way, even for smaller or lighter weight class competitors. That is advantageous for you than stronger. We have seen the conventional stance be the primary stance of most competitors today. As well here at 265, taking a state junior 105 record with just his opening pull, and it flies. Absolutely ignorance. All the way through the deadlift openers here. Powerlifting America Umbra Classic 2 dripping away in front of our eyes. Oh, we think that this is going to get a little bit more nutty. J6 was making a 17.5 jump up to 600 pounds for his second attempt at the deadlift. That would run his total up to 777. We're just going to go ahead and speak this into existence now. He will be registering the highest total, as well as will take on the class best lifter. Remember, he's a junior and an open double entrance. The Mac here, Brian McCutcheon, back to the top of the flight, throws 210 this time. It's a pretty big jump of 15. That's a super quick down command. Certain athletes take advantage of that. That doesn't mean really cut the knockout short, but it means you have to tempo it slowly all the way down. Again, Brian McCutcheon, another guy who his first meet is today, and got the looks of a guy with a ton of potential. Mike is jumping 15 kilos here, so now our order changes a little bit throughout the flight. Mike is now pulling second in this second run through. Remember, you always go through in order of lightest to heaviest. He had a little bit of a hitch in his giddy up butt up at the top. He's able to lock it. 617.5 is where Mike's total sits right now. And if he wants to take another maybe 7.5, that's probably going to be all he's going to get out of the day. Steven Haslam's 20-kilo jump here.
So much better actually hitting that, and then you're still running.
240 is his nominated second pull.
Lock it out.
Pop, lock, and drop it. 605 is total 6 now. Second pull for me.
Let's go, Wyatt. Come on.
Come on, Wyatt!
Has a very strong
Lightweight, baby!
Yes, let's go. Come on.
in the flight with a 285 second pull put in. Wyatt
That's
Evans
tight.
plus 10 jump here. It's 242.5 on the bar for him.
Yes, easy!
Bad. And again, I like how he's actually letting that bar down quicker than most. He's clearly locked out. And he's getting quick down command for just about everybody. I think he's wise to do that and conserve even a tiny little bit of energy. I think that is a smart veteran's move. Joseph Valente also competed at Umbra Classic last year. He bombed out on bench of all things. Classic first last year, then no frills in February of this year, and keeps stacking chips. That's a 30 kg jump, the heaviest jump of anybody all day long, and it's knocked out with ease. Joseph Valente with a deadlift PR there on his second attempt. Zach Charneski is taking a 30 kg jump of his own, and it's starting to get ridiculous around here. Not only is it a 30 kilo jump overall, it's a 20 kilo PR. Okay. That is tremendously outside of what you'll ever see a typical jump be. And yet, it's no issue. He's opting for a low top band. Deadlift. The one rule to it that pretty much everybody will follow is you gotta have a flat. You want to see as little heel to toe drop as you possibly can. Zero impossible for regular athletes opting for a very minimalist deadlift slipper. Or Zach Ryan has any ancient bands. Jason Cleva, they've been a 600 pound pull here and have 272 for a second. Basic competed in the Montana State Championships at 19 years of age with USAPL back in 2023. He was, at that time, a 692.5 total guy. And now, he's going to have a chance to get near 800. He might take a YOLO bowl of something absolutely incomprehensible, something really near his third squat. But look, you got to hit the second attempt first, all right? 600 pull for that second is so silky smooth. It's 777.5 J6 total with one more attempt still to come. Ronald Prusa 285. He's taking a 20 jump as well. The question is not who will have the heaviest total or who is taking home best lifter. The question is kind of to read what's left for anybody else. Everybody's got to compete now against themselves and whatever they can do within their class. Ronald Prusa 285 kilos for his second another record. He's stacking 20 on his own just newly minted 120 junior deadlift record. Bang. J6 between a 2-third pull for himself. Hold on. Gonna be good, folks. Gonna be good. We're going about these
Go, Brian, come on.
Brian McCutcheon said dumbbell bench is his favorite exercise. He's got the look though. His lower body says, actually, I think I like training lower more. The Tecumseh, Michigan native, getting his full Bruce Buffer introduction here. And now can he knock out that 225? Brian McCutcheon with a 580 total. What a debut it would be. Yoink. Absolutely toasted. And two fingers skyward. Brian McCutcheon finishes 7 for 9 on the day, missing just the third squat and the third bench. We still got 3 in this flight who are capable of putting together 9 for 9 days. Joseph Valente, Zach Charneski, Jason Cleva.
Let's go, Mike!
Oh, pardon us, Mike is still alive with that as well. He has not missed yet. And his total on 617 and a half. Can toss another 5 on here. Let's see it, Mike. Extra horsepower. He found it. And he's got him. 237.5 keys. 524 or so in the pound, give or take. You know it's not exact, folks, but again, we cheat. We've got these conversion charts with us, and you honestly just get a ton of practice when you've been at enough meets over enough federations for long enough. You just know some of these common conversions, like 250. That's just about 551. That's Stephen Haslam's third pole coming. His total would run to 615. I wonder if it's supported on the thighs. It hasn't showed up once so far, but let's look on the lights in a moment. It's not actually going to be all hinges like we expected. That's when the bar is supported on the thighs. So that's when it's taken out of hands. It's really just a lockout as they hit red lights, but not like crossovers on them. Wyatt Empire wants to throw another 10 on. I like it again. 2 jumps of 10 apiece. The Lowell, Michigan native. Wyatt said he wants to just see how he likes powerlifting. He's intoxicated now because it's a long year, and you might want to let it sink its hooks deeper into you. 597.5 kg total for Wyatt Empire. Over 1,300 pounds. It's about 1,317, give or take. Ryan will be in the top junior 105. He's going to be in the second junior 105. The heaviest 105 overall. That title will belong to Mike Romanchik at that 622 and a half total. Joseph Valentes, he budged, and then the reality is only 255 people hit very quickly sometimes. If we hadn't ditched it, we already had that just performance. Those 8 and heroes across everything. Guys, 645. Zach Charneski, one more pole here. 260 is the nomination. Jumped 30 kg last time, and then, yeah, the third deadlift will just do that to you. Joseph and Zach are going to end up 9 each. 2 more pulls to go for Powerlifting America Umbra Classic 2. The first one belongs to Jason Leva. He is 1,000 miles beyond anybody else. The best understandings. 1,000 miles beyond you'll ever see. One of the densest and most built for this. 290 kg to match his best squat, and to put 50 on his best competition deadlift. Jason Cleva. It's a shame that somebody had to go and glue that thing to move like that. Disrespectful, really, like they didn't want to see the heaviest pull. Here's the thing. Jason comes up empty on the 290, but we still have a chance. We're going to keep the extra pull. Keep seeing Ronald Crusoe have the final say of It's been a treat. Ronald Crusoe has the final say here. This is now for another deadlift record plus the state total record for the 120 juniors. Ronald Crusoe on 300 kg even. Can you lock it? And he lost the grip at the very top for the final pull of the day. Oh, that is a tad anticlimactic for what was still the most electric pull of Umbra Classic 2. Ronald still secures 2 deadlift records. He gets the 285 kilo second pull. What did we tell you? Those men's junior 120s. He claims that record twice, and 285 is the heaviest pull all day long. Austin Malawa, though, the heaviest pull out of Flight B at 280. That's maybe the most valiant pull. He was a 93 and finished with a 665 kilo total. Other amazing numbers. Of course, Jason Kleba will be winning your men's best lifter. 777.5 kilo total. His best competition total coming in was 692.5. The gentleman put 85 on his kilos. 85 kilos on his total, that is. Wyatt Edmeyer. Awesome. Awesome debut for him. Goes 8 for 9, only misses the opening squat. Oh boy. We're looking to see if we've got any 9 for 9 performances. We believe the answer is yes. Madison Plant. She did fantastic as well. Claims a 52 kg junior deadlift record as well as the junior total record at 260 kilos and 120 respectively for that total and the deadlift. Kyle Hudson, again, what could have been with his unbelievable bench and deadlift numbers, though he is the one athlete to bomb out and not receive a total for this meet. We do have the 1 9 for 9. Pardon us, it's Mike Romanchik finishing with a 622.5 total, the heaviest 105 total of everybody, on the backs of a 227.5 squat, 157.5 bench, and 237.5 deadlifts. Folks, that's going to wrap up Powerlifting America Umbra Classic 2. We'll probably keep the camera rolling for just a little while for you as we get to the presentation of awards real soon after that final valiant effort of really those last two pulls. Incredible, very, very intimidating weights from Jason Kleba and Ronald Kusa, but neither of them gave up. Just ran out of gas. Once more, thank you so much for joining us over here on the Powerlifting America Michigan YouTube channel. Thank you again to all of our referees, spotters, and loaders, plus, more importantly than anything, our illustrious meet director, Alicia Lewis. This has been Tanner White, a Powerlifting America 74 kg competitor and your professional play-by-play announcer for the day. So happy to have joined you here from Umbra Strength in Shelby Township. We will now step out and we'll just let it run while we get those awards and fill your screen. Then we'll blank it all and be out of here. Thanks one more time for joining us over here on YouTube. For Powerlifting America Michigan, I'm Tanner White. Been a pleasure to have you with us for Powerlifting America Umbra Classic 2.
Let's give a big round of applause to Allie for putting all this direct together. She's our meet director here at Powerlifting America, Michigan. As we start with our awards, who's ready for our awards? Couple people, that's all we need to get started. In the women's Raw Junior 52, first place goes to Madison Brown. She's moving on to the next piece. Madison right now. Oh, here she comes. You can take it. It's okay. Go ahead, Madison. Stand up. There you go. Let's go to one round of applause. Congratulations. Next up is the women's Raw Junior 84 plus. Your winner, Sophia Brown. Congratulations to everyone for the Raw Master 163. Your winner, Angela Down.
Everybody leaves all their chocolate over here.
Wasn't you at the first mini meet last year?
And this year. And New USA. I'm all over the place.
In the women's Raw Open 76, second place goes to Allison Grisman.
What's up, Allie?
And first place in the women's Raw Open 76, Savannah Lee. Congratulations. Category is the women's Raw Junior. Bench 84 plus. Your winner, Sophia Brown. Congratulations, Sophia. Let's go over to the men's. In the men's Raw Junior 83, second place goes to Connor. And first place in the men's Raw Junior 83, Nicholas. Congratulations. We are going to move on to the men's Raw Junior 93 in seconds. Elias Russell. And first place in the men's Raw Junior 93, Jason Cleaver. Congratulations. Next up is the men's Raw Junior 105. First place goes to Wyatt Henry. Congratulations, Wyatt. We move on to the men's Raw Junior 120. Second place goes to Stephen Haslett. First place, Ronald Prusa. Raw Open 74, winner Timothy Cagney. In the men's rock open 83, third place goes to Kevin Martin. Second place, Connor Lee. And first place, the men's rock open 83 Euro winner, Jacob O'Hara. Congratulations. We're moving on to the men's rock open. Who goes to Alan Benjamin. Second place, Austin. And first place, open 93, Jason Cleveland.
Good.
do, yeah. And I can be here with this bed. I will probably next look to February, because that was at my home gym in Township. So I did May in Grand Rapids, did well, but went down on the weight class, and it was a tough cut. So my total went down a little bit, but my knots went up, and I was like, okay, cool. But my body was wrecked. I needed a long off season. For sure. So I'm right in the middle of that off season where I'm building back up and finally feeling like healthy.
I would just have that conversation with somebody else about how your time that, you know, physically you feel like crap.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
it's like, what's that trade-off? Right? You have to be fun at the end of the day. You want to have fun. Despite your weight or it's not fun, it's like,
Yeah, what are we doing this time? Yeah, for sure.
so this was my time. First time in this bed.
I think it is in my knowledge. So there's like some dots cut off on each half. I don't know if registration is closed for that or if there's any more spots available. You can ask about that should be the last one. It's that invite only deal, so then it would probably be
Either way, I'm just trying to do the race, and you know, it's fun. Prep and do all that, but hey, take care. Good run, huh? Yeah, man.
hilarious consequences.
I know, because as I got ready for this meeting, I was exploring not just IPF, but how to be American. This is a new one, newish. And I was doing all the Instagram and Instagram, and I don't even have a legit Instagram. I just have like a account where I'll just like scroll and stuff. And your videos came up like in my algorithm, just the voice. And so I'm like, yeah, that's
Hilarious.
that